interest rates as low as 0% or $399 with approved credit on the number one selling new car in the Springfield market, a new Hyundai from Green Hyundai.
Help Green Hyundai meet its goal of 200 new Hyundais sold by Labor Day weekend. Join the 200 Club now at Green Hyundai, 1200 South Dirksen Parkway.
And remember, where it's not about cars, it's about people.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting card enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or play. Stop, opt out.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to fill up.
No way. Gas around here is too expensive.
Billy, don't drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying gas?
Yes. I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Earn cash back every time you buy gas. Text CARD to 200-300 for an exclusive link to download the free Upside app and get an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. Cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just text CARD to 200-300 to download the free Upside app and get an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus. Text the word CARD to 200-300. Text CARD to 200-300.
92.7 WMAY, Springfield's news and talk.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Sunny and hot today with a high near 99, low around 74 tonight. Tomorrow, some scattered morning showers, then sunny with a high near 90, low around 67. Sunday, sunny with a high near 89. Monday, sunny with a high near 88. And Tuesday, sunny with a high near 89 degrees. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
X with a double X battery. Generations of power. Batteries of all shapes and sizes. Excellent service. Exceptional value.
They're called Motobat batteries, and we have them at Rex. Motobats are batteries for motorcycles that are powerful enough to handle all your accessories. As you add new gadgets to your motorcycle, the standard factory battery may not be enough to handle it all. The Motobat battery is designed to send enough juice to the whole motorcycle and keep you moving down the road. At Rex Battery, we have all kinds of batteries for all kinds of vehicles. The Motobat battery has a quad flex terminal design, shortening the path to the battery cable. That means you get quicker power delivery and improved starting ability. If you have a motorcycle, you need Motobat. Rex Battery on Clear Lake, just west of Dirksen.
X with a double X battery. Generations of power.
When I commit to someone, I want them to commit back to me for, life. That's why I love Verlo mattress. When you buy a Verlo, you get something nobody else offers, a commitment to helping you love your sleep for as long as you own your mattress with a lifetime comfort guarantee. Those other places, you get a measly 60, 90, maybe 120 nights. Not even close, guys. Wake up, sleep better. Verlo. Listen, at Verlo Mattress, saving a lot on a comfortable mattress with a lifetime comfort guarantee is easy. Why? Well, because we make our mattresses right at the store. Yeah, we cut out the middleman, and voila, you got it. We pass the savings directly onto you every day. So hurry in today to your local Verlo, where there are no middleman markups. Wake up, sleep better, and save at Verlo.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's news and talk.
I do think that we have, I don't know what percentage chance to put on it, but it is not zero chance, and it is not, 30% chance. I think it's better than that we will win. I don't know what percent to put on it. I just think that we have a pretty good argument, and it's demonstrated by the quality of the bill that got passed and signed here in Illinois and the commentary of the appellate court judges. We can't allow people to have shoulder-fired missiles. There's some limit to what we can allow people to have, and they're going to have to recognize that it shouldn't be a popularity contest.
That was Governor J.B. Pritzker last night at a fireside chat talking about gun control, and he had about an hour-long conversation with somebody asking questions and also taking questions from members of the audience. Good morning, Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. And, of course, we've got lawsuits against Illinois gun laws in a variety of fronts, both in state and federal courts. And top of mind for a lot of people is the Protect Illinois Communities Act, which obviously is the ban on certain semi-automatic firearms and magazines over certain capacities that the legislature defined as, quote, assault weapons. So obviously that's tied up in the appellate court right now, the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals for the federal courts, and we have yet to get indication as to when that's going to be determined. But let's go ahead and get into this because there's a lot to unpack with the governor in his fireside chat last night, including the issue of license plate readers. Is he hinting at that as a tool to possibly cut down on the issue of gun trafficking from other states? Here's the governor talking about that.
So we've got, a pretty good handle on what we need to do. The challenge, of course, is you don't know which cars. We're not allowed to track which cars are driving from Chicago across the border, going to an Indiana store, buying a gun, and coming back. We're not allowed to track that car. On the other hand, we can watch the routes that are normally taken from Indiana back into Illinois, and with a variety of technology and other things, make a reasonable guess. And again, using only probable cause and other things to pull them over. But we have to do more of this. We just have to.
So did the governor say the quiet part out loud there? We'll actually touch on this a little bit later on, but those are some of the big things that popped out from the nearly hour-long fireside chat. And, of course, I'd love to hear from you at 217-629-7970. We're going to talk about this for the majority of this hour, so get your phone calls ready at 217-629-7970. But back to the chat, the governor, he was asked about the Protect Illinois Communities Act. That's the ban on certain semi-automatic firearms. And he kind of talks about where they're at in the court case and his thoughts on gun ownership. Here's the governor.
It's a long haul to get something important like this done, especially in a Midwestern state where we have 3/4 of the state is essentially rural, and there are a lot of people for whom guns are part of their tradition. And it's not that they're seeking to commit crimes with those guns, but they view this as something that's part of their heritage. And so when you've got people out there who feel that strongly about it and who look at the Constitution and say, well, gee, it says right there that I have a right, it becomes difficult to overcome that in the legislature, even when you have a majority of the public supporting the position that I take.
And I think it's interesting just to really, think about that Second Amendment language, a well-regulated militia being necessary for the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. But the governor talked also about what he thinks is the reason for people owning guns.
We needed to make sure that everybody understood what the real goal here is, which is not to take away people's tradition of hunting, not to attack people's ability to, use a gun for sporting use, for example, or even for self-defense, but rather to take weapons of mass destruction, weapons of war off the streets. And that it's, again, there's no gun grab here. This was an effort to genuinely rationalize the kinds of weapons that are available.
So Governor J.B. Pritzker saying there was no, quote, gun grab here. But he also laid out his thoughts on why he thinks people own firearms for hunting or for sport or even possibly self-defense. But the central question is, can the government dictate to somebody what kind of firearm they can use to defend themselves? A lot of pushback from gun control advocates saying that AR-15 style semi-automatic rifles are akin to, quote, weapons of war or are akin to mass killing machines. And you heard at the top there, we'll likely hear this a little bit later on as well. The governor says you can't have, rocket launchers and things like that. So obviously the Second Amendment issue and the questions surrounding what kinds of firearms are included in the Second Amendment, that's a conversation that the courts are dealing with right now. But to get to the courts, the governor, he talked about the progression of them passing the bill to ban certain semi-automatic weapons. He talked about the litigation that followed. He said within hours, it was actually about a week after the law was enacted. And he also propped up the NRA, which, if you guys have been following the past year or so of litigation across the country that's been moving, the NRA really has not been instrumental at all in a lot of that. I think a lot of that's been from, the Firearms Policy Coalition. You've also seen the Gun Owners of America step up, the National Shooting Sports Foundation, and a variety of other groups outside of the NRA that have been filing litigation that's actually bringing about some rulings from these federal judges across the country concerning gun litigation. But regardless, the governor used the NRA as a way of being a foil of sorts last night in front of this group talking about gun control efforts. Here's the governor. And go.
So we knew this was not going to be over immediately after passing it, but, every journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first steps. And signing the legislation was the first step. Battling it out in court, and each level of court was going to be the next step. But remember, 8 states preceded us. So it wasn't like we had broken new ground nationally, but we did break new ground in Illinois. And the fighting the NRA in Illinois, for the legislators that have been in this job for some time, I only came to Springfield in 2019, but there are some who've been there longer than I have, and they know that the Illinois State Rifle Association and related organizations have a lot of power. They just do. They have a lot of money, they have a lot of power, and they've been utilizing it for many years to block legislation that stands up for gun safety for the people of Illinois.
Well, the reason they're trying to block that legislation is because they're getting courts to find that certain gun laws, maybe some of you out there say all gun laws, are a violation of civil liberties found in the Second Amendment of the Bill of Rights to the U.S. Constitution. There's a lot more from last night, guys. We'll get to it, I promise. But I would love to hear your calls at 217-629-7970. Again, we're reviewing Governor J.B. Pritzker, a nearly hour-long fireside chat that he held with those who support gun control. We also will hear a little bit about safety, that the governor says, he was even asked, should the National Guard be on the streets in Chicago, violence intervention programs, and so on. But a lot of the conversation hinged on gun control efforts. So stay tuned. We'll get to much more of that throughout the program here with Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. And we'll get your phone calls coming up as well. 620. Let's take a look at that hot forecast today. We got a high of around 98. The heat index is going to be 111. Possibility of some showers, but it's going to be a scorcher today. 30% chance of showers overnight. We're looking at a high of 90 Saturday with a chance of showers. Sunday, the high of 87, sunny skies. Same thing for Monday and Tuesday. Right now, it is 80 degrees at 620 from Culver's West on Wabash.
It's time to apply at Culver's West on Wabash. We're hiring all positions, and did we mention free food? Only at Culver's West on Wabash.
John, the price of groceries is enough to send somebody into a panic mode these days.
Yeah, especially when the refrigerator goes kaput.
Even more so. We got a call from a customer who had that problem with a freezer load of those expensive groceries.
And that'll keep you awake at night just thinking about it.
Right. So, because Dick Van Dyke stocks the 100 most used parts, we were able to send a factory-trained tech out to her place to fix the problem before she lost any of that food.
And he wasn't some subcontractor either.
Trained right here locally by the team of Dick Van Dyke.
You know, one way to fight inflation?
Yep.
Keep from having to buy expensive stuff twice.
This is Dennis Regan, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store, which means you have the comfort of knowing that if anything goes wrong, we'll make it right. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. We stand behind what we sell. We offer so much more. Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Hi, Rob from Cadenza Precious Metals here. We pay cash for your coins, precious metals, collectibles, diamonds, and many other things of value. If you need some extra cash, give me a call and we'll discuss what you have. I have hundreds of satisfied customers in the Sangamon County area. I don't have employees or a storefront, so I can pay more for your valuables than others. I will come to you or we can meet in my private office. Rob, 217-415-5581. You will be pleasantly surprised.
The Landmark Auto Group is introducing their new #1 reason why you always do better at Landmark. Landmark for a lifetime. This incredible new reason to buy gives you an exceptional lifetime coverage on the vehicle you purchase at any Landmark store. This pro-certified lifetime warranty will be available on new and pre-owned vehicles. That's coverage for unlimited time, unlimited miles with no cost to you. Landmark for a lifetime. Just another reason why
You always do better at Landmark.
Landmark Chrysler Jeep wants to thank you for a successful Midnight Madness sale. It's because of their great customer base and community that they can offer these amazing deals for 10 years. If you missed it, don't fret. Landmark Chrysler Jeep just got a ton of great local trade-ins and is extending the sale pricing and 4.5% financing for 78 months through July 31st. So hurry in for your last chance at Midnight Madness savings at Landmark Chrysler Jeep Prairie Crossing Drive.
You always do better at Landmark.
This could be the start of a break-in.
Stop. This is Simply Safe.
Or the end of one. Introducing 24/7 Lifeguard Protection, only from Simply Safe. Now, monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Here at Warren Boynton State Bank, we're proud to be a true community bank since 1877. We remind you that the goal of a community bank is to work together with our customers and communities to help move them forward in positive ways. When we accept your deposits, we invest that money right back into this area, into homes, farms, and small businesses. One of our primary goals is to help this community in any way we can. And because we've invested in you, our friends and neighbors, our bank is safe and sound and in business to stay. We're sincere in our care and concern for this community. Our employers, directors, and managers are people you know, people who are dedicated to making this a better place to live. Discover what a true community bank is at Warren Boynton State Bank, 3030 Spring Mill Drive in Springfield. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Warren Boynton, your bank.
Shop the largest selection of Amish and American-made furniture all in one location at Hendricks Home Furnishings. From living room upholstery and accent tables to bedroom, dining room, and home office furniture. Select your sizes, wood finishes, colors, leathers, and fabrics of your choice. At Hendricks, the options are endless for style and comfort that will last a lifetime. Come shop Amish and American-made furniture on sale now. Hendricks Home Furnishings in Verdon and online at hendricks.tv, where you can always talk to the owners.
To protect his home and family from disaster, Steve used courage, wisdom, and his camera phone.
That should do it.
Way to go, Steve! By simply taking digital pictures of his family's important documents, Steve can always have them stored safely online, no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Take Springfield's morning news with Greg Bishop everywhere with the free WMAY mobile app. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's news and talk.
We're hearing some segments from a nearly hour-long fireside chat that Governor J.B. Pritzker had with gun control and gun violence prevention groups at a event up in Chicago. And a lot to get to still here. Here he talks about the status of litigation against the gun and magazine ban he enacted earlier this year. And he seems to downplay the significance of the Illinois Supreme Court. Here's the governor.
You know, the cases that you really want to watch are the cases in the federal court. And I think here's my optimism. You know, we know what the Supreme Court looks like these days, but I have some optimism that we may be successful because in the appellate court in Chicago, there were two of the three judges on the appellate court who spoke out during the hearing, asking questions of the plaintiffs about the issue of whether or not, you know, the case was being made that the Supreme Court ruling Bruin had essentially said, well, gee, if it's in common use, then a gun should be allowed. And that you can't ban something that's in common use. And they were making the case that, well, AR-15s, for example, are in common use because there are millions of them across the United States. And the two judges essentially responded by saying, so it's a popularity contest now? If you can get a gun out there in enough people's hands, all of a sudden it becomes okay for everybody to have one of these weapons that can kill, you know, dozens of people in a very short period of time, or as in the case in Highland Park, you know, fire 83 bullets in less than 60 seconds. You know, those are okay because, it's become in wide use. This is a great point. One of those two judges was a Reagan-appointed judge, the other one a Clinton-appointed judge, and they are two of the three. So it gives me hope that we're going to win at that level. I don't know whether we will or not, but I think that reasoning will carry to the Supreme Court, to some of the justices that may have voted to weaken our gun safety laws, and recognize that, you know, we can't allow people to have shoulder-fired missiles. There's some limit to what we can allow people to have, and they're going to have to recognize that it shouldn't be a popularity contest.
Again, you heard even a couple of weeks ago the governor talking about shoulder-fired missiles and bazookas and rocket launchers, and the gun rights advocates in court said that it's not about those weapons, which really, outside of court, people analyzing this saying that those are indiscriminate. You throw a grenade, it goes off. I throw shrapnel all over the place. A semi-automatic firearm is a precise pinpoint firearm that allows for the individual to strike a single target if they're proficient enough, right? So interesting to hear some of what the governor's thinking is behind the trajectory of litigation against Illinois' gun and magazine ban. We've got a lot more to get to, including the governor laying out what are really the political realities on the ground in Springfield when it comes to gun laws. He also talks about steps he wants to see continue going forward, and a little bit about safety as well, and whether or not you'll see different types of things like taxes or insurance for gun owners and more. So stay tuned. Tons more to get to. And, of course, I want to hear your phone calls at 217-629-7970. Right now, though, we got to take a break. 6:30, and let's check some headlines.
92.7 WMAY.
Here are the three big things you need to know.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story. Governor J.B. Pritzker has signed a new law that will prohibit so-called crisis pregnancy centers from using misinformation, deceptive practices, or misrepresentation in order to interfere with access to abortion services or emergency contraception. The law allows the Illinois Attorney General to investigate complaints against centers using such tactics and strengthens the AG's office's power to prosecute incidences of consumer fraud in such cases. Last month's concert appearance of Betty, which was canceled because of poor air quality, has been rescheduled. The eclectic Washington, D.C. indie pop rock group will appear Wednesday, August 2nd, as part of the Levitt Amp Springfield concert series. More information can be found at WMAY.com. State Senator Steve McClure, a Republican from Springfield, announced he does not want any new certificates of authority for building carbon dioxide pipelines in Illinois for at least 2 years, or until the federal government revises safety standards for transporting carbon dioxide. McClure said the 2-year pause will give either state or federal authorities time to enact regulations. A bill to enact the delay is being co-sponsored by Senators Sally J. Turner, a Republican from Lincoln, and Rachel Ventura, a Democrat from Joliet. The Copper Coin Ballet Company will be performing rock ballet at the Muni with music by Downstate on August 19th for one show only. The show will feature hits from Aretha Franklin, Prince, Michael Jackson, Elton John, and many more. A special behind-the-scenes video showing the hard work and dedication of the performers can be found at WMAY.com. A Trump-appointed federal judge dismissed a lawsuit brought by U.S. Representative Mike Bost seeking to block the state from counting mail-in ballots cast on or before Election Day, but received by election authorities up to 2 weeks afterward. Observers note that the law was designed in part to meet federal voting requirements for military members serving overseas. The U.S. Department of Justice issued a statement of interest in support of the state of Illinois, in part citing protections for military members to have their votes counted. The Prismian Group announced new subsidies from the state of Illinois and plans to break ground on the group's expanded facility in downstate Du Quoin. The expansion will enable the company to increase cable manufacturing for the renewable energy and electric vehicle sectors. Prismian Group plans to invest $63.8 million and create 80 new high-paying jobs while retaining 225 jobs in southern Illinois. Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast is next on WMAY.
Save big money at Menards on everything for your next project, even breakfast items to get your day started. Save big while supplies last on Hormel Thick Cut Bacon, just $6.99 a pack. After rebate, pick up a 100-count pack of single-serve coffee brew cups for just $23.99 after 11% off. That's just 24 cents per cup after rebate. Good through July 30th. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
In 2023, fans welcomed Wilson Contreras to the Cardinals family, and on Saturday, August 5th, we celebrate him with his first gate giveaway. That day, 25,000 fans ages 16 and older will go home with their own Wilson Contreras home white Cardinals jersey, courtesy of Stiefel. That's not all. 10,000 fans ages 20 and younger will also receive a baseball card pack thanks to Topps. For details or tickets, visit cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Wilson Contreras. See you at the ballpark.
Sunday, August 6th, the Cardinals host the Rockies, and there's a giveaway for fans of all ages. That day, 10,000 fans ages 16 and older will get an exclusive Cardinals and MLB Network hat, and 10,000 kids ages 15 and younger will take home a Tommy Edman growth chart thanks to Missouri Farmers Care. Stay after the game for the post-game High Chew Kids Run the Bases. That's Sunday, August 6th, the Cardinals and the Rockies. For more ticket information, visit cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Tommy Edman. See you at the ballpark.
Banana split, peach cheesecake, Vermont maple. The flavors never stop at Snowbiz. Cherry and grape to jungle juice and cotton candy. You've never had shave ice like this. Snowbiz.
Snowbiz.
Laurel west of MacArthur.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone.
Done.
By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Sunny and hot today with a high near 99, low around 74 tonight. Tomorrow, some scattered morning showers, then sunny with a high near 90, low around 67. Sunday, sunny with a high near 89. Monday, sunny with a high near 88. And Tuesday, sunny with a high near 89 degrees. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Hello, I'm Dr. Tanya DeSanto. At Prairie Dental Group, we let our patients do the talking.
Not just my friends who noticed it right away, but when I see my docs, and they'll say, let me look in your mouth, and go, oh, beautiful teeth, beautiful smile.
We sat down and talked about what we were going to do and how we were going to do it, and you guys were willing to work with us. You have your ducks in a row.
So I had to have a root canal, and doing that, there was no discomfort. It was basically just come in and take a nap while you did the work.
I just love them. They're all great. They treat me good. Couldn't have a better place to go.
I would highly recommend Prairie Dental, absolutely for sure.
Come see why so many of your friends and neighbors choose the all-women staff at Prairie Dental Group. Make your appointment today by calling 217-546-0412. Prairie Dental Group is located at the corner of Greenbrier and West White Oaks Drive right here in Springfield. And you can also find us on our website at prairiedentalgroup.com.
And thank you for voting us the best dental office in Springfield 8 years in a row.
Healthcare.gov is here for you when life happens. If you lost your health coverage because of turning 26, going off Medicaid, leaving your job, or moving, you could be eligible to enroll in new coverage now. And if you need to update your coverage because of marriage or having a baby, you could also be eligible. But don't wait. There's a limited time to enroll. Check your eligibility at healthcare.gov today. Life happens. Get covered. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Every business seeks an advantage, whether it's having the best location, hiring top talent, or spotting trends before they happen. And now, the United States Postal Service can give your business a new advantage. Introducing USPS Ground Advantage. Reliable and affordable 2 to 5 day package shipping. It's the advantage you need at the price you want. Get the Ground Advantage at USPS.com/advantage. The United States Postal Service, delivering for America.
I'm Peter Greenberg, and this is today's Ion Travel Minute. Overseas, a number of cities and countries have analyzed costs and the environmental impact of automobile travel, and they're now offering public transit for free. And that trend is now extended to the U.S. Kansas City became the first major U.S. city to make public transit free citywide back in 2019. Olympia's local bus routes and intercity trains are now free as well in Washington State. In Arizona, Tucson's transit services are all free. In Virginia, Richmond and Alexandria's bus system have followed suit. And two of America's biggest cities, Boston and New York, are testing several free bus routes to potentially adopt citywide. For more information, visit petergreenberg.com. I'm Peter Greenberg, and this is today's Ion Travel Minute. Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Designed for curious travelers. Viking offers all-inclusive voyages on all 7 continents, with no children and no casinos on board. Learn more at Viking.com.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI Studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.
Last night, Governor J.B. Pritzker had a fireside chat, about an hour long. He answered questions about gun violence prevention, but a lot of it dealt with gun control. And we heard a little bit about him saying that, you know, he's confident the message that the appellate court could send to the U.S. Supreme Court will be that, well, people can't have rocket launchers. Why can they have AR-15s? But he also said that he's, you know, got about 30% chance, he says, of the U.S. Supreme Court upholding the state's gun and magazine ban. But how do we get here? The governor lays out the political realities. He talked about how, you know, the state legislature is essentially in the hands of Democrats. Here's the governor from last night at this fireside chat.
Of the House of Representatives to vote for something, you need 30 members of the Senate to vote for it, and you need one governor to sign it. And so we had to negotiate to get to 60-31 and to make sure it was actually an effective bill, because there are some of the assault weapons bans that are out there that are less effective than the one that got passed. So I'm proud of what we got done, but it was a collective endeavor. The fact that Moms Demand Action and other organizations were already so active even before the Highland Park shooting, and were able to jump on this as quickly as they were. And, you know, frankly, we are more powerful those of us who are gun safety advocates are more powerful today than we've ever been before. We have 78 Democrats. I'll leave it at that. We've won a lot of seats in the House and the Senate, and we have the governorship.
So again, the governor laying out the political realities there. But I'd love to hear from you at 217-629-7970. That's the phone number. So far, we've heard a lot from the governor. One commenter on YouTube says, JB, if any of that is true, why did you carve out law enforcement and security still being able to own them? So it's okay to use them against the citizens. So interesting perspective there, and you can sound off as well at 217-629-7970. But let's hear more from the governor. We've heard this before as well, but the governor says that there needs to be a national ban on semi-automatic firearms.
So we have a lot of effort that we have to put in, not just to gun safety legislation, but to fighting poverty in the communities where most of the shootings are happening. So not to recommend organizations, just to say to you, if you can reach out and help in the violence intervention organizations that hire people that are returning citizens who've served time and have come back to their communities and want to do something good for their community, those organizations are hugely in need. We at the legislative level and my job as governor, we have budgeted. In fact, I was just on the phone with one of the representatives talking about what we're going to do, budgeting going forward for these violence intervention organizations. And then the last thing I'll say is that we have to pass a national ban on assault weapons.
So, again, the governor, he's said that before, but more from last night at a fireside chat with Governor J.B. Pritzker, sounding off on what he wants to see happen here in the future when it comes to guns and gun control.
We've got to support organizations that are supporting people who get elected to Congress who are going to pass an assault weapons ban. So if you want to do something, please do that.
So the assault weapons statute also increases the...
Did I mention re-elect President Biden? Sorry.
So the governor there kind of joking about re-electing President Biden. I'm sure that there's a lot of people hearing this saying, the governor's just setting himself up to run for president. But the governor has been adamant that he is not looking to run for the White House, but instead is supporting President Joe Biden's re-election campaign. So next up, let's see here. We've got the governor talking about a variety of other things, including the measure that would allow for private right of action against gun manufacturers for advertising. And we've seen this, of course, in the debate around it as to whether that's constitutional or not. And obviously, it's something that's going to be litigated. But the governor last night being asked about this and essentially says that what passed and what's on his desk has yet to be signed. He says it didn't necessarily go as far as maybe some advocates have wanted the legislation to go. Dan, let's do this.
So the idea is to prevent them allowing private rights of action against manufacturers so that they're deterred from promoting the use of guns in these ways. So that's what it is. Now, it's not as you know, there are proposals to allow private rights of action against gun manufacturers for the use of guns in felonies, and that would obviously be an effective way to shut down manufacture of certain kinds of guns or even the gun manufacturer itself. That's not what got passed, but that also would have likely ended up with a significant suit that would end up going to the Supreme Court and probably being rejected. But this is a good step forward and a good signal to the manufacturers that we're not going to allow them to take advantage of their ability to manipulate people with advertising and marketing to what it ultimately is, promote the use of guns in violent crime.
So, again, the governor talking about the measure that would allow for private rights of action against gun manufacturers based off the advertising that they put out there. And he says it didn't go necessarily as far as they may have wanted it to go. But the governor also chiming in on the U.S. Supreme Court and the prospects of what could possibly happen moving forward.
I do think that we have, I don't know what percentage chance to put on it, but it is not zero chance.
With the gun
it
ban,
is not,
the challenge in the federal courts.
30% chance. I think it's better than that we will win. I don't know what percent to put on it. I just think that we have a pretty good argument, and it's demonstrated by the quality of the bill that got passed and signed here in Illinois and the commentary of the appellate court judges. So, when you say where is it all going, we're in this terrible situation where essentially it's been made, available to everybody to go buy almost any. Lots of handguns are available to everybody in the audience and everybody out there in the world, and more of them have been purchased. And I think did I read that we have 390 million guns in private hands in a country that has about, 340 million people in it? And that doesn't mean that everybody in this room has a gun, but it means that somebody else out there has more than one gun. And as I said before, there are lots of people buying guns not because they feel like they, should have a gun but because now they feel like everybody else has a gun. And so they have to protect themselves, or they want to be like their neighbors.
So the governor says people only own firearms because they want to keep up with the Joneses?
This is the world we're living in, and it was just abroad in the UK. They can't believe what's going on with guns in the United States, and they don't understand how rational society like ours can let the continuation of, the growth of gun ownership, particularly very deadly weapons, continue to harvest among us.
The history there that we have with the United Kingdom, with Great Britain, when it comes to firearms, we have the Second Amendment because Great Britain was trying to be a tyrannical government against the colonists in the United States. So, interesting. I guess that's a conversation for another day. But we continue on because last night's fireside chat touched on a whole host of other things, and of course we've got to get to it. We'll finish up this hour with a few more clips, but also I want to hear from you. 217-629-7970. That's the phone number here with Springfield's Morning News on WMAY. Now 6:48 from Culver's West on Wabash.
Culver's West on Wabash is hiring for all shifts and all positions. Apply today in person.
Save up to 50% on a hot tub, cold therapy tub, or swim spa at the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend at Bank of Springfield Center. Browse the largest display of hot tubs, cold therapy tubs, and swim spas in the region from major brands at up to 50% off. See swim spas in action offering exercise, therapy, and fun all year long. Over 40 spas will be on display and every hot tub must go. Show admission is free. That's the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend at Bank of Springfield Center. Visit spaexpo.com or call 1-800-SPA-SALE.
I think what people want from their doctors, as much as anything, is a partner in their care. I'm Dr. Chris McDowell, a physician with SIU Medicine. Our clinical excellence is unmatched in the region. We're home to the latest technology, the best people. But what sets us apart is our commitment to our patients. Being there for them as a partner, a supporter, as an advocate, and even a neighbor. That's what makes SIU Medicine so unique. Learn more at siumed.org.
Less hassle, more travel. We've got connections. Springfield to Chicago O'Hare to anywhere. The Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport has recently undergone improvements to make your experience flying to and from your hometown even easier. Security lines are short, parking is always free, and customer service is a top priority. Book your next American Airlines flight from SPI at aa.com. Fly local, fly SPI. Take the easy way out.
Take the easy way out.
So, off to school with that young adult of yours. Like most parents, you probably got your kid a nice car. Not a new car, but maybe a Stage 2 car. 4 or 5 years old, no warranty to speak of, and you've got that car packed with an old futon, plastic bins, and ramen noodles. Nice. But don't forget to bring that Stage 2 car here. Hello, Lauterbach man talking to you from high above the 7 bays at Lauterbach Tire on Wabash. Before you send your student down the road, bring that car in for a Stage 2 checkup from Lauterbach. For just $25, we'll examine that car and give you a detailed report on what has to happen and when. Then you know you're sending your student off to college in a safe car, filled with books, your big box TV, and Cheese Whiz. Call 546-2600 and set a time for Stage 2 service. Available now at Lauterbach Tire on Wabash. Lauterbach man here. Drive safely now.
Decluttering your home? Getting rid of business junk? Kick it to the curb. Let the 2 men and a truck junk removal specialist haul it away for you. Our professionally trained team will swing by to pick up and dispose of junk or any unwanted items you're ready to get rid of. No need to go through the hassle of renting a dumpster and taking care of it yourself. We make it easy with our 2 men and a truck junk removal service. We'll haul as little or as much as you need. 2 men and a truck junk removal. Visit 2menandatruck.com for more information.
The Landmark Auto Group is introducing their new #1 reason why you always do better at Landmark. Landmark for a lifetime. This incredible new reason to buy gives you an exceptional lifetime coverage on the vehicle you purchase at any Landmark store. This pro-certified lifetime warranty will be available on new and pre-owned vehicles. That's coverage for unlimited time, unlimited miles with no cost to you. Landmark for a lifetime. Just another reason why you always do better. Landmark Chrysler Jeep wants to thank you for a successful Midnight Madness sale. It's because of their great customer base and community that they can offer these amazing deals for 10 years. If you missed it, don't fret. Landmark Chrysler Jeep just got a ton of great local trade-ins and is extending the sale pricing at 4.5% financing for 78 months through July 31st. So hurry in for your last chance at Midnight Madness savings at Landmark Chrysler Jeep Prairie Crossing Drive. You always do better.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
There's a reason your parents and grandparents keep going to Hendricks Home Furnishings. Trending styles, endless design options, and easy to deal with. It's the way their customers describe Hendricks Home Furnishings, and with competitive prices to the box stores in Springfield. If you're shopping for furniture and you haven't been to Verdon, you're missing the biggest and best showroom in Central Illinois. Check it out on Google 360 or come see them. They'll even pay for your gas down to Verdon. Hendricks Home Furnishings. See store for details.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY.
Well, this entire hour, we've been reviewing some of what Governor J.B. Pritzker had to say at a fireside chat last night in Chicago. Somebody on YouTube saying, did he roast marshmallows? No, he talked about gun control. And some other comments that definitely wanted to highlight from last night's chat. And here's the governor talking about what else can be done, right? He passed a ban on semi-automatic weapons and magazines. It's being litigated in the courts. He was asked about other gun violence prevention efforts, and then I think some of you might feel he said the quiet part out loud. Here is Governor J.B. Pritzker.
So we've got, a pretty good handle on what we need to do. The challenge, of course, is you don't know which cars. We're not allowed to track which cars are driving from Chicago across the border, going to an Indiana store, buying a gun, and coming back. We're not allowed to track that car. On the other hand, we can watch the routes that are normally taken from Indiana back into Illinois, with a variety of technology and other things, make a reasonable guess. And again, using only probable cause and other things to pull them over. But we have to do more of this. We just have to.
So the governor, is he referencing automatic license plate reading technology? I mean, we had a segment on that yesterday with Illinois State Police talking about how they're setting those up all over the place and close to Missouri and up in Chicago and elsewhere throughout the entire state, and these can all be linked together and whatnot. Is that something he's talking about? The state already prohibits people being tracked if they're coming from out of state into state for abortions. They've carved that out of the law, but just putting that out there, the governor seemed to hint at, quote, technologies to be able to track cars possibly being involved in firearms trafficking. So again, interesting to hear that. The governor was also asked about possibly setting up laws that would require people lock up firearms in their own homes. And he says essentially that the government needs to make sure that people are kept safe in their own homes. Here's the governor.
I think if you're going to own a gun, you have to be responsible with it. And this is one way for us to demand and ask people to do the right thing and keep them safe in their own homes. So I'll just leave it there.
So I've been given a few more questions here. So, so we talked about taxing.
I should look at the legislators here and say, so you guys are going to introduce that, right? Okay.
Right.
And again, the political realities that the governor laid out was that they control both the House and the Senate and the governor's office, and that's what you need to pass legislation. So we'll see what other types of things come up. He also talked about insurance, requiring that. He talked about possible taxation issues and the like. So obviously, this is a ongoing debate that's going to be had at the Illinois State House, regardless of what we see happen out of the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals and all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court. But one other thing, the governor took questions from the audience via cue card because the moderator was accepting some cue cards and pushing those up to the governor so that he could answer them. One in particular deals with a question that a 10-year-old asked. Here's that question from last night's Fireside Chat.
So I was given a question by a 10-year-old member of the audience who asked a question.
A future voter.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And perhaps one of the most difficult questions. Why are there shops where you can buy guns? Aren't the materials unsafe?
What was the last one?
Aren't these materials unsafe to have in a store that you could walk in and buy?
Well, let's start with, I don't want to, who's the 8-year-old or 10, did you say a 10-year-old right here? Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is important. And without getting into any legalistic anything, just know that if we're going to allow people to have guns at all, and there are those who might say we shouldn't, but if we're going to allow people, then there has to be some way for them to obtain those. They're going to have to pay for them. And so, that's why those stores exist. Having said that, you're asking a question that leads to, a very important other question, which is, these are very dangerous items. Why are they so easy to get? And I think that's the best question you've asked so far.
Of course it is.
But, people who support the right to keep and bear arms will just point right back to the Second Amendment, which says a well-regulated militia being necessary for the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That's why there are gun stores. All right, stay tuned. We got more coming up.
From the Fly SPI studios, take the easy way out. WMAY FM, Taylorville, Springfield's news and talk is 92.7 WMAY.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Justin Finch. 3 new criminal charges were filed against former President Trump in the classified documents case. Special counsel Jack Smith also charged the head of maintenance at the former president's Florida estate. ABC's John Santucci with more on the new allegations.
And apparently, according to this now superseding indictment from special counsel Jack Smith, there was a conversation that Trump and Walt Nauta had with this employee about potentially deleting the footage. There's even one text message between Nauta, Donald Trump's right-hand man, the aide that was originally charged with him, and this Trump organization Mar-a-Lago employee saying the boss wanted this deleted from the server, referring to the security footage at Mar-a-Lago.
The third defendant, maintenance manager Carlos de Oliveira, will appear in court next week. Trump has denied wrongdoing, his campaign calling the new charges harassment. The president spoke about the dangers of extreme heat Thursday.
Most people don't realize for years heat has been, I have to admit, I didn't know it either. I thought I knew it was tough, but the number one weather-related killer is heat.
Heat alerts are in effect from coast to coast today. One day after 81-year-old Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell appeared to freeze mid-sentence on Capitol Hill, concerning scenes Thursday involving a 90-year-old senator from California.
Dianne Feinstein was called to vote, but instead began an awkward speech.
It provides $823 billion.
An aide comes to her side, interrupting her.
Just say aye. Okay, just aye.
After a bout of shingles and a 2-month-long absence, it was revealed the California senator suffered from encephalitis.
ABC's Allison Cossack. This is ABC News.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
All right, so we found out this week that there was more than $5 billion in improper payments of your tax money in unemployment. $5.2 billion. Should probably get my Dr. Evil pinky up to my lip. All right, we'll talk about that because the governor responded at an unrelated news conference yesterday to that report, but he didn't really answer the question that was posed about accountability. So we'll hear that next with Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY. Plus, we got some other headlines, including the ability for you to skip the line at the driver services facilities, which it's a trope that everybody knows about, right? Reminiscent of Beetlejuice pulling on the waiting tab, and he pulls out number 5,773,205 or whatever it is. But the Secretary of State moving to allow you to skip the line. Plus, the Attorney General heralding a law that allows him to go after crisis pregnancy centers if they don't tell people about their ability to get an abortion in the state. Why not? Also, we'll take your calls on remote work. Guys, it's Friday. Holy cow, we got a lot to get to. 7:04 now. Let's take a look at some headlines.
News.
Weather.
92.7 WMAY. Springfield's news and talk.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story, Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul and 23 other attorneys general are asking Congress to extend GI Bill housing loan and educational assistance programs to families and descendants of Black World War II veterans who were denied GI Bill benefits on the basis of race. The bill is named for two Black World War II veterans. Sergeant Isaac Woodward Jr. was beaten and blinded by South Carolina police in 1946, while Joseph H. Maddox was accepted into Harvard University, but Veterans Affairs denied him financial assistance. Senior Services of Central Illinois is hosting a beach music party today beginning at 11 o'clock this morning at their facility on 701 West Mason in Springfield. The event will feature beach drinks, Beach Boys music, and beach-style games. The event is sponsored by Meridian Health Illinois, and a link can be found at WMAY.com. Gross domestic product grew at a faster than expected pace during the second quarter of 2023, according to the Commerce Department. Markets moved higher after the report. Inflation decreased much more than the latest Dow Jones estimate, and the Commerce Department noted that gross private domestic investment is up, durable goods orders are up, and economic growth during the quarter was driven by gains in employment and strong consumer spending. State Senator Steve McClure, a Republican from Springfield, announced he does not want any new certificates of authority for building carbon dioxide pipelines in Illinois for at least 2 years, or until the federal government revises safety standards for transporting carbon dioxide. McClure said the 2-year pause will give either state or federal authorities time to enact regulations. A bill to enact the delay is being co-sponsored by Senators Sally J. Turner, a Republican from Lincoln, and Rachel Ventura, a Democrat from Joliet. Your dependable 5-day forecast is next.
Save up to 50% on a hot tub, cold therapy tub, or swim spa at the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend at Bank of Springfield Center. Browse the largest display of hot tubs, cold therapy tubs, and swim spas in the region from major brands at up to 50% off. See swim spas in action offering exercise, therapy, and fun all year long. Over 40 spas will be on display and every hot tub must go. Show admission is free. That's the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend at Bank of Springfield Center. Visit spaexpo.com or call 1-800-SPA-SALE.
Oh, I'm sleeping so hot.
911, what's your emergency?
I'm on fire. Send help. Finally, can you help?
For the last time, ma'am, turn your thermostat below 90 degrees, stop cuddling up next to this bear,
hey,
and take the plastic cover off and get yourself a Verlo mattress.
During Verlo's Sleep Cool sale, we're offering discounts on our firm, plush, pillow top, and hybrid V7 through V11 sets. On top of our discounts, we're giving you a free cool contact mattress protector, a set of cotton or bamboo sheets, or 2 of our Verlo gel pillows. Pair any of our mattresses with an adjustable base and save even more. So beat the heat this summer and get yourself a Verlo mattress.
Ah, thanks, Verlo.
Verlo mattress. We're not just building a better mattress, we're building a better night's sleep for less.
To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Everywhere you are with TuneIn Radio, the WMAY app, or at WMAY.com. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's news and talk.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Sunny and hot today with a high near 99, low around 74 tonight. Tomorrow, some scattered morning showers, then sunny with a high near 90, low around 67. Sunday, sunny with a high near 89. Monday, sunny with a high near 88. And Tuesday, sunny with a high near 89 degrees. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Brain freeze! Blue tongue, purple lips, how long will it last? All summer at Snowbiz. Snowbiz. Everybody's favorite summer stop is back with more flavors than you can count. And every Tuesday is buy one, get one free day. Snowbiz. Laurel, west of MacArthur.
So, off to school with that young adult of yours. Like most parents, you probably got your kid a nice car. Not a new car, but maybe a stage 2 car. 4 or 5 years old, no warranty to speak of, and you've got that car packed with an old futon, plastic bins, and ramen noodles. Nice. But don't forget to bring that stage 2 car here. Hello,
Lauterbach man talking to you from high above the 7 bays at Lauterbach Tire on Wabash. Before you send your student down the road, bring that car in for a stage 2 checkup from Lauterbach. For just $25, we'll examine that car and give you a detailed report on what has to happen and when. Then you know you're sending your student off to college in a safe car, filled with books, your big box TV, and Cheese Whiz. Call 546-2600 and set a time for Stage 2 service. Available now at Lauterbach Tire on Wabash. Lauterbach man here. Drive safely now.
Thank you for choosing 2 Men in a Truck. How may I help you?
We're moving and I have a strange situation. So part of my house is already packed, but because I work full time and still have to get the kids bathed and put to bed, I don't have time to pack the garage and the basement. Is that something you can do?
That's not strange at all. We offer full or partial customized packing services. 2 Men in a Truck has completed over 9 million moves. We have a solution for that.
Not sure how your move is going to work? Go to 2meninatruck.com to start your free estimate.
When I commit to someone, I want them to commit back to me for, life. That's why I love Verlo mattress. When you buy a Verlo, you get something nobody else offers, a commitment to helping you love your sleep for as long as you own your mattress with a lifetime comfort guarantee. Those other places, you get a measly 60, 90, maybe 120 nights. Not even close, guys. Wake up, sleep better. Verlo. Listen, at Verlo Mattress, saving a lot on a comfortable mattress with a lifetime comfort guarantee is easy. Why? Well, because we make our mattresses right at the store. Yeah, we cut out the middleman, and voila, you got it. We pass the savings directly onto you every day. So hurry in today to your local Verlo, where there are no middleman markups. Wake up, sleep better, and save at Verlo.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.
Earlier this week, the Illinois Auditor General released a report on the state's unemployment agency, the Illinois Department of Employment Security, looking at the 2 years of the peak of COVID-19 and unemployment payments that went out. This was an effort that was bipartisan to have a targeted audit of this particular issue because there was just no real indication on how much improper payments went out. And we got that indication this week with the Auditor General reporting $5.24 billion in improper payments going out, overpayments and a variety of other things. And that included $40 million going to individuals who were incarcerated and another $6 million going to those who were deceased. And this is obviously sparking a lot of concern and frustration with lawmakers. They're calling for accountability, even criminal investigations. It gets all the way down to the issue of, for instance, the contractor that they contracted with a no-bid contract, Deloitte, to set up this federal program after governors across the state issued stay-at-home orders, essentially impacting the economy across the spectrum from governors like J.B. Pritzker, who determined what was an essential business and what was not an essential business. And we, of course, saw those unemployment numbers spike for several weeks. It was 200,000 a week filing for unemployment. Unemployment offices were closed. If you recall, to the public, they couldn't go to a physical location to deal with issues. They had to call a hotline, and a lot of people waited hours on end to try to get through, only to all of a sudden be hung up on and have to start the process all over. We had people getting unemployment benefits that didn't request them. They were getting cards with money on them. We had Congress people even getting unemployment benefits. So obviously there was a lot going on that was raising questions of what happened there. Well, the governor was asked who's going to be held accountable at an unrelated event yesterday. Here's the governor's response to what a lot of people are seeing is just an inept Illinois Department of Employment Security during the peak of COVID-19.
Going to, shore up these fraud and mistakes that resulted in these underpayments.
Well, I want to remind you that this happened all over the country. There's not a state that was unaffected by fraud and attempts to get unemployment claims filled in California and New York. California, $20 billion of fraud. New York, $8 billion of fraud. And you can go every state throughout the country and you'll see numbers like that. So I think we all would say that we would have preferred if we didn't see that kind of fraud. But remember the moment that this happened in. It was a global emergency. We were trying to get money out the door to people who had lost their jobs because, frankly, people were getting sick and dying. We wanted to make sure they could survive so we could have jobs for them at the end of the pandemic. So that's one aspect of it. The other is, remember, a majority of the report was about fraud that occurred in a federal system called PUA, sometimes referred to, that the Trump administration pushed on the states and said you have to get it out the door immediately. So they had no fraud protection on that PUA program. And the result is many, many billions of dollars all across the country, many more than in the regular unemployment system, were lost. Finally, look at I think hundreds of billions now that have been identified in fraud in the PPP program. That's a federal program. So this was a moment when we were all going through a major global emergency. I think all of us would have preferred if the systems that had been built in Illinois and across the country before the pandemic were prepared for what turned out to be, in some cases, 100 times the number of applications coming in than were happening on a regular basis before that. It was 10 times the size of the applications that came in during the Great Recession. And you remember how many people were out of work and desperate and in need back then. So we've now done a lot of work on those systems to make sure that they're not only avoiding fraud, but making sure that we're providing a system that's easy to access online in particular, so nobody has to go wait in line if they don't have a problem, which vast majority don't. They can do this all online on a system that we rebuilt, and we rebuilt it during the pandemic, so it's quite difficult, but we achieved it.
So the question again was, who's going to be held accountable for this? And the governor didn't really, number one, take responsibility explicitly. He also didn't mention, the contractor that had a no-bid contract here. He did reference the Trump administration, who was in office at the beginning of the pandemic, and Congress, who set up this unemployment system for the pandemic, where you just had reverberations across the economy. So he seemed to shift responsibility to the Trump administration, and also mentioning that, hey, other states had even more fraud in their system. But in talking about the Trump administration, he said they didn't put in fraud prevention tools. Well, the Auditor General, if you look at the report, he essentially finds that the federal government did indeed offer tools to prevent fraud to the state of Illinois, but the state of Illinois delayed implementing that until, I think the report said, September of 2020. So you have from March of 2020, when you had the stay-at-home order issued, I think it was, March 20th? And then that lasted for, 2.5 months roughly. And you still had a lot of other controls that the governor was putting in by executive order of economic activity being allowed. But from March to September, that's a pretty big window. And when we saw the peak of those unemployment benefit requests coming through, and all of the questions of wait lines on phone calls and people who didn't request unemployment benefits getting unemployment benefits, so that window from March to September, they did not implement the fraud prevention tools that the federal government had suggested. I believe that's something the Auditor General put into their report. So obviously there's still a lot more to be said about this, because there's people at the State House who say they have constituents who just never got access to those benefits that they needed after their job was shut down, while you have $5.2 billion going out. in overpayments for the state's unemployment system. And then, don't forget, the state had to borrow. The state had to borrow from the Fed to pay those claims. And then before we knew how much fraud there was, state taxpayers went ahead and used federal tax funds to pay off that debt. And then there was also an agreement with employers and labor about how to make up for the unemployment trust fund's deficit. And it included, lower benefits for those who are unemployed to higher costs on employers. So how are we going to get that money back? Is there going to be a criminal investigation? Is Illinois State Police going to get involved? Is the Illinois Attorney General going to get involved? These are obviously some questions that still remain unanswered, but we did hear from the Attorney General yesterday talking about how he wants to go after abortion clinic, or rather crisis pregnancy centers. So we'll touch on that next. And another constitutional officer also talking about a skip the line provision at the DMV. So stay tuned. We'll get to that coming up here with Springfield's Morning News on WMAY. 7:21. Let's take a look at Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast. It's a scorcher today. We're talking a high of 98 with a heat index of 111. Possibility of some showers tonight. Could cool things down with a high of only 90 Saturday. Cool things down. By Sunday, we're looking at a high of 87 with sunny skies. Monday, 85 the high with sunny skies. And Tuesday, 87 the high with mostly sunny skies. It is 80 degrees out there right now at 7:21 from Culver's West on Wabash.
Deliver smiles, butter burgers, fresh custard, and great service. Culver's West on Wabash is hiring for all positions.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive, and it's a gunner! Cardinals first baseman Paul Goldschmidt won the 2022 National League MVP award after compiling an incredible season. And on Friday, August 4th, the Cardinals celebrate this accomplishment with a commemorative giveaway. That day, 25,000 fans 16 and older take home an exclusive Goldschmidt MVP bobblehead presented by Ameren, Missouri. That's Friday, August 4th. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Paul Goldschmidt. Don't miss a legendary moment at Busch Stadium.
Don't miss the first ever emo night at Busch Stadium on Friday, August 4th, when the Cards take on the Rockies. With the purchase of a special themed ticket, fans will get to take home an emo-inspired Cardinals t-shirt. Come early for a pregame concert by Taking Back Emo in the Budweiser Terrace. That's emo night at the ballpark Friday, August 4th. For tickets or more details, visit cardinals.com/theme.
This is Jack Flaherty. See you at the ballpark.
Head into the weekend in style, not just by getting a new ride, but also by joining the 200 Club. Mike Quimby standing by to tell you how that's going to happen for you today. Mike?
That's right, Greg. Here we go. The final, hard to believe, the final weekend in July. This is it. We've got Friday, Saturday, and Monday for you to come out and join the 200 Club as we try to sell 200 cars before the upcoming Labor Day weekend. So it's a big push. We're doing everything we can to put these cars down the road, like putting extra in the trades and making sure you get an extremely low interest rate, which we have 0 on select new Hyundais with approved credit on a short-term loan, or interest rates as low as 3.9 on a reduced rate. So it's a really, really good time to trade. The auto industry is still got your trade at the maximum. It's a really big time for us as we go for our Super Bowl. The 200 Club, yep, you got your chance to join it tonight until 7, tomorrow till 6. At 1200 South Dirksen Parkway, directly in front of good old J.C. Penney's. Come on out and join the 200 Club.
Mike Quimby, Green Hyundai. Have a great weekend.
Appreciate it, Greg. Thank you.
Country music superstars are taking the Illinois Lottery Grandstand stage at this year's Illinois State Fair. Kicking it all off is record-breaking award winners Old Dominion on Friday night, August 11th, with special guest Alexandra Kay.
I don't want to be a one-man band.
Megastar Tim McGraw hits the stage on Thursday night, August 17th, with special guest Landon Parker.
Always stay humble and kind.
And Grammy winner Maren Morris will bring hit after hit on Saturday night, August 19th.
tickets are on sale now 24/7 at Ticketmaster.com, the Ticketmaster app, or at the Grandstand ticket office during regular business hours. And don't forget to add your pre-show party tickets for only $30. Party before the show and be the first ones into the Grandstand. Act now. Don't miss these country powerhouses at the 2023 Illinois State Fair, August 10th through the 20th.
A new study finds a markedly higher risk of death among older people with dementia after they receive an opioid prescription. In the first 2 weeks of new opioid use, the risk of death increased 11-fold compared to those not receiving the medications. The study was reported at the Alzheimer's Association International Conference. Dr. Nicole Purcell is Senior Director of Clinical Practice at the Alzheimer's Association.
As a basic rule, pain should never go untreated, and heightened attention is needed when working with people who cannot clearly articulate their pain. These new findings emphasize the need for thoughtful discussions between doctors, families, and patients about the risks and benefits of strong pain medications and consideration of alternative approaches.
Among 75,000 older people diagnosed with dementia over 10 years, a third of those getting an opioid prescription died within 6 months of receiving it. More research is needed to understand why opioids are related to excess deaths in this vulnerable group. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
The Landmark Auto Group is introducing their new #1 reason why you always do better at Landmark. Landmark for a lifetime. This incredible new reason to buy gives you an exceptional lifetime coverage on the vehicle you purchase at any Landmark store. This pro-certified lifetime warranty will be available on new and pre-owned vehicles. That's coverage for unlimited time, unlimited miles with no cost to you. Landmark for a lifetime. Just another reason why you always do better at Landmark. Landmark Chrysler Jeep wants to thank you for a successful Midnight Madness sale. It's because of their great customer base and community that they can offer these amazing deals for 10 years. If you missed it, don't fret. Landmark Chrysler Jeep just got a ton of great local trade-ins and is extending the sale pricing at 4.5% financing for 78 months through July 31st. So hurry in for your last chance at Midnight Madness savings at Landmark Chrysler Jeep Prairie Crossing Drive. You always do better.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop. Weekdays 6 till 9 on 92.7 WMAY.
Reviewing some of the actions yesterday from constitutional officers. Back at it, Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk. And of course, we heard from Governor J.B. Pritzker about unemployment insurance. But yesterday, you had the Illinois Attorney General not talking about that. He instead was addressing another issue concerning crisis pregnancy centers and an effort to allow for the Attorney General to go after crisis pregnancy centers was signed into law by the governor. Now, the headline, Illinois allowing pregnancy centers to be targeted for, quote, deceptive practices. Attorney General Kwame Raoul talking about this yesterday. He was at a Planned Parenthood for a news conference, and he said that the bill is going to allow him to go after pregnancy resource centers if they don't offer up the option of providing for certain types of reproductive health care. Here's the Attorney General yesterday.
Would stop cars entering the parking lot of the facility as a tactic to prevent and redirect patients from accessing the care that they had traveled to seek.
He says that obviously there's efforts to try to keep people from getting abortions, and he's seeing that as violating individuals' rights and now could violate Illinois law. The Attorney General went on to say that the U.S. Supreme Court's decision to return the decision back to states on what to do with abortion has resulted in people trying to stop that procedure. Meanwhile, you've got the Secretary of State, Alexi Giannoulias, announcing a Skip the Line program. And that's a program that actually I've heard a lot about. Some of my colleagues even saying they actually like the idea of scheduling their appointment online so they don't have to sit there and wait of having to get an issue at the driver service facilities. It's kind of reminiscent sometimes that trope you hear all the time of having to sit in line at the DMV. It's kind of like Beetlejuice sitting there and having to pull the the ticket, his weight ticket, and find out that it's in the millions, and they're only on, appointment 3. So, yesterday, the Secretary of State laying out that indeed this is going to improve the overall experience for those needing driver's services. Alexi Janulius.
Today, I'm proud to officially announce our latest initiative to improve the customer experience at our DMVs, our Skip the Line program. Everything we do at the Secretary of State's office is centered around 2 things: creating an environment of excellent customer service and modernization.
So, he says it's going to just increase the overall experience all around.
It's easier for consumers when they have the opportunity to reserve a specific time that accommodates their schedule. That's the world that we live in now. That's what this program is doing.
So we're going to hear a lot, I think, from the Secretary of State, because he's got other initiatives like a digital driver's license. Be interested to see what that's going to be like. And some of the questions that civil libertarians raise about things like that. So obviously, the state's constitutional officers here at Illinois have been busy. Comptroller Shoshana Mendoza has her own event later on this morning down in Anna at a veterans home to talk about some updates to facilities there. So keep them busy, I guess, this summer with the state's constitutional officers. We'll do what we can to keep you posted on what they're doing as your public servants. It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop. Coming back, an interesting study I just saw pop up about remote work and who's heading back to work rather than just working at their home office. So I want to hear from you at 217-629-7970. Are you back at the office? Let's hear it. 217-629-7970. That's the phone number. Right now, 7:31. And let's take a look at some headlines.
92.7 WMAY.
Here are the 3 big things you need to know.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story: gross domestic product grew at a faster than expected pace during the second quarter of 2023, according to the Commerce Department. Markets moved higher after the report. Inflation decreased much more than the latest Dow Jones estimate, and the Commerce Department also noted that gross private domestic investment is up, durable goods orders are up, and economic growth during the quarter was driven by gains in employment and strong consumer spending. Last month's concert appearance of Betty, which was canceled because of poor air quality, has been rescheduled. The eclectic Washington, D.C. indie pop rock group will appear Wednesday, August 2nd, as part of the Levitt Amp Springfield concert series. More information can be found at WMAY.com. A Trump-appointed federal judge dismissed a lawsuit brought by U.S. Representative Mike Bost seeking to block the state from counting mail-in ballots cast on or before Election Day, but received by election authorities up to 2 weeks afterward. Observers note that the law was designed in part to meet federal voting requirements for military members serving overseas. The U.S. Department of Justice issued a statement of interest in support of the state of Illinois, in part citing protections for military members to have their votes counted. Governor J.B. Pritzker has signed a new law that will prohibit so-called crisis pregnancy centers from using misinformation, deceptive practices, or misrepresentation in order to interfere with access to abortion services or emergency contraception. The law allows the Illinois Attorney General to investigate complaints against centers using such tactics and strengthens the AG's office's power to prosecute incidences of consumer fraud in such cases. State Senator Steve McClure, a Republican from Springfield, announced he does not want any new certificates of authority for building carbon dioxide pipelines in Illinois for at least 2 years, or until the federal government revises safety standards for transporting carbon dioxide. McClure said the 2-year pause will give either state or federal authorities time to enact regulations. A bill to enact the delay is being co-sponsored by Senators Sally J. Turner, a Republican from Lincoln, and Rachel Ventura, a Democrat from Joliet. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul and 23 other attorneys general are asking Congress to extend GI Bill housing loan and educational assistance programs to families and descendants of World War II black veterans who were denied GI benefits on the basis of race. The bill is named for 2 black World War II veterans. Sergeant Isaac Woodard Jr. was beaten and blinded by South Carolina police in 1946, while Joseph H. Maddox was accepted into Harvard University, but Veterans Affairs denied him financial assistance. Your dependable 5-day forecast is next on WMAY.
WMAY News, brought to you by The Inn at 835. Let The Inn at 835 handle your next business or social gathering with style.
Less hassle, more travel. We've got connections. Springfield to anywhere. The Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport has recently undergone improvements to make your experience flying to and from your hometown even easier. Security lines are short, parking is always free, and customer service is a top priority. Book your next American Airlines flight from SPI at AA.com. Fly local, fly SPI. Take the easy way out.
Take the easy way out.
The Landmark Auto Group is introducing their new #1 reason why you always do better at Landmark. Landmark for a lifetime. This incredible new reason to buy gives you an exceptional lifetime coverage on the vehicle you purchase at any Landmark store. This pro-certified lifetime warranty will be available on new and pre-owned vehicles. That's coverage for unlimited time, unlimited miles with no cost to you. Landmark for a lifetime. Just another reason why
You always do better at Landmark.
Landmark Chrysler Jeep wants to thank you for a successful Midnight Madness sale. It's because of their great customer base and community that they can offer these amazing deals for 10 years. If you missed it, don't fret. Landmark Chrysler Jeep just got a ton of great local trade-ins and is extending the sale pricing and 4.5% financing for 78 months through July 31st. So hurry in for your last chance at Midnight Madness savings at Landmark Chrysler Jeep Prairie Crossing Drive.
You always do better at Landmark.
Why do residents love Springfield Supportive Living? Just ask Mike.
I am so glad that I came here. I really appreciate that they have Wi-Fi here because I like playing on my tablet and looking up things and playing games, and I'm just happy that they have that.
With an experienced staff every step of the way.
I get along with them really well. They're a lot of fun, and it's just been a really good experience.
SpringfieldSupportiveLiving.com.
Springfield Supportive Living. Are you young enough?
Keep your radio on 92.7 WMAY all weekend for the latest breaking news and constant updates from ABC News. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's news and talk.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Sunny and hot today with a high near 99, low around 74 tonight. Tomorrow, some scattered morning showers, then sunny with a high near 90, low around 67. Sunday, sunny with a high near 89. Monday, sunny with a high near 88. And Tuesday, sunny with a high near 89 degrees. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Guess who's in charge of arranging the corporate event this year? Now, where to start?
Conn's Catering and Events has you covered. A quick call or visit with the experts at Conn's will save you time while making you look like an excellent planner.
Well, this event is a real monster. We'll need a bunch of options.
Like a customizable menu tailored to your specific needs and preferences?
That would be one easy solution.
From full-service events like the one you're planning to drop-off catering like a quick meal to feed the office, Conn's will have people complimenting you on the excellent choices.
Sounds like this is going to be a permanent addition to my job description.
Because you're not settling for anything less than extraordinary. Give Conn's a call. They'll help you turn the event into a complete success as you make that lasting impression on your clients, employees, and guests.
Call Angie at 217-523-4466 or visit Conn's at conshg.com to set up your corporate dining experience today.
Here at Warren Boynton State Bank, we're proud to be a true community bank since 1877. We remind you that the goal of a community bank is to work together with our customers and communities to help move them forward in positive ways. When we accept your deposits, we invest that money right back into this area, into homes, farms, and small businesses. One of our primary goals is to help this community in any way we can. And because we've invested in you, our friends and neighbors, our bank is safe and sound and in business to stay. We're sincere in our care and concern for this community. Our employers, directors, and managers are people you know, people who are dedicated to making this a better place to live. Discover what a true community bank is at Warren Boynton State Bank, 3030 Spring Mill Drive in Springfield. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Warren Boynton, your bank.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.
Are you back in the office or are you still remote? Would love to hear from you. 217-629-7970. That's the phone number here with Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk. You can also email bishoponair@gmail.com. And I'm interested to see if the call's coming in. You know, you can say yes, you're back at work, or no, you're not back at work, you're doing remote. But I'd like to hear the breakdown of men versus women, because apparently a new study released about a month ago, actually, but I'm just now seeing this, and it says that in returning to the office, one gender is rushing back faster than the other. Which one? You could probably guess. Would love to hear your guess. 217-629-7970. That's the phone number, and you can line those phone calls up. But I'll go ahead and reveal it to you. All right, so let's check this out again. All right, this is from Fortune. And it says, in returning to the office, one gender is rushing back faster than the other. Men are giving up remote work and returning to offices in the U.S. faster than women, according to new government data. The share of men who worked at least partly at home on an average day dropped to 28% in 2022 from about 35% the year before, resulting to an annual survey, results from an annual survey that was published last month by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. For women, the share working at least partly at home fell only slightly to 41% from 41.5%. So interesting to see that. In total, 34% of Americans said they worked at least partially at home in 2022, down from 38%. Now, for myself personally, I do hybrid, right? I'm here at the radio station every morning, 6 to 9. Here at the radio station physically. Even during COVID, I was coming into the radio station every morning. It was super bizarre when the stay-at-home order was issued. We, of course, in media, were considered essential, whether you agree or disagree with that. But ultimately, we were here at the studio physically. At least I'd be in the newsroom, and then I ultimately came over and began hosting the morning show and was here physically each and every day during the peak of the pandemic. For news conferences, it was interesting because we did remote news conferences a lot, which at some points were frustrating, especially if you needed follow-up questions, if they were being filtered through the spokesperson of whatever government entity was providing that virtual news conference. But still, there's some jobs that you have to be physically in person. Some jobs you can be at home, but I'd like to hear from you, 217-629-7970. Are you back in the office or are you still working from home? Good morning.
Good morning, Greg. I'm actually still working at home. In fact, we moved here to Springfield when I got permission to work remote. I work for a major airline in the digital technology area. I do go up into Chicago for work. It's working out about once a month or so, but generally speaking, no, I work remote out of our home here in Springfield.
So the line of work you're in, it seems to allow that, right? I mean,
yes,
if you're working on computers and on networks and coding and stuff like that, I can imagine that you don't need to necessarily be in a physical office for that.
Yeah, right. My job mainly is testing and working with design folks and stuff like that. So, and developers. So yeah, my line of work is very much tailored for remote work. But there are times that there are big meetings and stuff like that, and thank God for the 110-mile-an-hour Amtrak. I can go up and back in one day if I need to.
Do you really think that's going to save you time, though?
Oh, it actually does a little bit. Maybe it's not much, but maybe about 10, 15 minutes. But
that's if it's not delayed because of something else that's happening on the tracks, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, I saw that happen last week. Actually, I was just up there.
Of course, you did.
It does. It still does happen. But I happen to work in Willis Tower, so it's like 2 blocks from Union Station.
Oh,
to get
nice.
Over there.
Yeah. And I appreciate the call. So obviously, some jobs again allow for Remote work. Listen, I mean, I come into the studio each morning to push these buttons and to push your buttons and to get you to call in at 217-629-7970. But I have done the show from home before. There's a little, some kinks need to be worked out here and there. But when the state legislature's in session, I am there at the State House. I've got an office down at the State House. When there's a news conference in the area, I physically go to that news conference. But there's a lot of times when they're not in session and there's no news conferences going on, I work from home. I've got a home office and all the equipment I need, and bada bing, bada boom, I'm able to produce everything that has to go out for the radio network and for the Center Square. So I do work from home. I like it because my wife Megan's back in the office, and she's been back in the office. I think they worked remotely for like 6 months or something, and they went back in part-time, and a lot of you experienced this as well, and limiting how many people could be in a building because of the governor's COVID-19 executive orders. But I kind of like being at home because I can get my work done. I'm very proficient at home. I don't stray from, getting a lack of focus. I can go out and water the plants in the middle of the day just to get them hydrated. So yeah, there's some benefits to it, right? Especially since when Megan comes home, 9 times out of 10, I can have dinner ready, which is great. So that works. But, some jobs you have to be in person. I want to hear from you at 217-629-7970, especially after a report from last month talks about how men are back in the office more so than women. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Good morning, Greg. I had to stay at home during that initial order, and then got called back to work at the state park. So been working during COVID the entire time, interacting with the public. But a trend I noticed with a lot of people that were remote working for the state, there was a lot of abuse going on. A lot of people saying they were working, they're out grocery shopping or, they're doing whatever. And productivity went down. You got to be physically there to get your hands on hard copies. You got to be physically there to network with your coworkers, sometimes to see the screen, manipulate the keyboard yourself or the mouse. It's easier when you can collaborate and communicate in person.
But it's also a level of accountability being in the office, right? I mean, because listen, you can easily just duck away and take a nap if you don't have somebody walking by your cubicle every 10 minutes or so, right? So there's a level of accountability, but that collaboration I think is very important as well. I've got a colleague who when we're in the heat of working on stuff, we're hundreds of miles apart from each other, but we're working on the same thing, and phone calls back and forth are like every 5 to 10 minutes, right? Because I tell him, he's like, I'm sorry to call you. I tell him, if we were in an office space, I would want you to come to me every 5 to 10 minutes if you have questions. So it's fine. But yeah, there's a level of accountability there for people who are in the office versus those who aren't in the office.
Yeah, it's something they need to look into. And with the productivity going down, a lot of people are using that system. Unless they have some sort of geolocating data that they can get for laptops or cell phones to be able to track where they're at. I don't really know how they're going to be able to handle that.
But even that, civil liberty concerns are there. Really, I think it's just the policies enacted by the supervisors, right? And I've heard various state agencies are fully back in office. Other state agencies are doing hybrid stuff. Others are still allowing for individuals to be completely remote. But, when it comes to other types of jobs, listen, a firefighter can't be remote. A police officer can't be remote. A auto mechanic can't be remote. A doctor, a nurse, it can't be remote, right? But somebody who's, just filling out spreadsheets, they could be remote. But should they get that hourly wage if they don't put in that whole hour? Or how should all that work out? And how do we keep people accountable? More men than women getting back into the workforce. Good morning. Where are you at?
A lot of people are actually, I think, we're starting to expand remote from work. I mean, a lot of unions are fighting for it. I know AFSCME here in town is fighting to expand, and with the new contract has language that the agency shall offer remote work. I don't think it's a very old school mentality to think that you have to be physically present especially with some of the new modern tools of Teams and collaborative tools, I found myself to be way more productive, actually, in a remote work setting.
And again, it just depends on the job, right? Listen, my work ethics, I don't know if it's something that's genetic or what, but I'm a workaholic. I'll freely admit it. It's not healthy, but yeah, I want to get the job done. I'm in a job where deadlines are important, where you want to be first and accurate, and you got to get stuff out there. You can't just rest on your laurels and be like, No, you got to get stuff done, right? That's my work ethic. So I'm kind of the same way at home. I'm just as productive, if not more, than I am elsewhere.
Yeah, I think the unit of work is changing too, as long as you're achieving the work that you need to get done.
Yeah.
I think that's more of a metric that needs to be measured. And I also think that there was often times that I found myself working well past my normal work hours, and I wouldn't even notice it because I was just in the grind, and I was.
Well, and that's the problem. And that's the problem, right? I mean, that's where the workaholic mentality comes in, because then you're neglecting your personal life a little bit, right? Appreciate the call. Somebody on YouTube says that their printer and their $5 million press won't fit in their house. What do they make? What do they print? Mostly junk mail. Love it. All right, 217-629-7970 is the phone number. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Greg, it was 128 in the back of my truck yesterday. Today it's going to be hotter. Can I work remote, please?
No kidding, right? You delivery drivers out there. No wonder you guys got air conditioning. Finally. Yeah, delivery drivers, they can't work remotely. Come on. You expect delivery drivers to unless we get to a place where they can fly the drones to deliver your goods to your front door, then they might be able to work remotely. Who knows? Let's go ahead and take another call. 217-629-7970. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Good morning, Greg. Yeah, I don't know if you've heard, but the new contract also spells out language for some of these agencies to work from home permanently, based on unit needs or, the boss's discretion. So, it's the future. It's here. Get used to it. And a couple callers back, a guy was saying something about productivity's down. I don't know what agency he's talking about, but our agency, actually, productivity is up. That's the reason that they got the language in the contract. So,
and just so everybody knows the reference you're making, the contract that AFSCME agreed to with the governor that was announced this week. Not everybody works for the state. Right.
Yes, and not every agency will have that. I mean, of course, like you said, there's just some jobs that you physically have to be there to do.
Yeah, you can't have jail guards work from home, right?
Right. I mean, so usually it's more your computer jobs where you're sitting at a desk just typing in keyboard all day. And I'm not belittling that job. I'm just saying it's usually those type jobs where you can actually do that sitting in your home. And as far as, we don't know where they're at, blah, blah, blah. Well, those computers have IP addresses that they ping from, and we do have an inspector general's office that does go through and check, because they have caught people.
Well, yeah, and they field complaints. They field, absolutely.
And it's not easy it's not hard to find these people. It just takes time. They do eventually get caught,
and they are held responsible and accountable. Right.
Yes, some lose jobs. Some have to pay, money back because it's a derelict of your job, really, because you're supposed to be at your work location, hence your house.
Right on. Hey, I appreciate the call. I got to get to a break, but feel free to chime in. You can email me, bishoponair@gmail.com, or you can find me on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. Just search Bishop on Air, and we can connect that way. All right, stay tuned. Got to take a break. 7:53 now from Culver's west on Wabash.
Work with a team that cares about being the best part of the customer's day. Apply today at Culver's West on Wabash.
I'm Meredith Voley, pediatrician at SIU Medicine. By my name, it says doctor, but it should also say partner, advocate, neighbor, even friend. Because our patients not only get exceptional medicine, the newest technology, the brightest minds, they also get someone who cares about them, champions their lives and our community. The journey to good health isn't taken alone, so our patients never have to. Learn more at siumed.org.
Do you know what to do when a car is pulled over on the side of the road? First, reduce your speed. Second, change lanes if possible. Third, proceed with caution. These 3 simple steps can be the difference between life and death. The next time you're on the road, do the right thing. Slow down, move over, and drive like your life and their life depends on it. Sponsored by the Illinois Broadcasters Association. Aired in cooperation with this station. Thanks to the AAA Auto Club for their financial support in the airing of this message.
Every industry has specialists, like Alan here. He knows radiators.
Radiators. I love them. Don't even talk to me about brakes or fuel lines.
Just radiators.
Radiators.
Sally is a specialist in cakes.
I think pies are an abomination.
Really? Pies?
Yuck.
Then we have Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. You know what they're great at? Appliances. Nothing else. No TVs, no computer printers, no radiators.
Who's got a problem with radiators?
Nobody, Alan, but you can't get one at Dick Van Dyke Appliance World.
Too bad. They're missing out.
I'm Dennis Regan, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. All we do is appliances. And when that's all you do it better than anyone else. Our associates on our sales floors know more about them, our delivery people are better at installing them, and our technicians are better at fixing them. All right here in Central Illinois. Wow!
I can't believe you don't like pies, though.
What do I look like, some kind of a peasant?
No.
Cakes are really the best thing.
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Here at Warren Boynton State Bank, we're proud to be a true community bank since 1877. We remind you that the goal of a community bank is to work together with our customers and communities to help move them forward in positive ways. When we accept your deposits, we invest that money right back into this area, into homes, farms, and small businesses. One of our primary goals is to help this community in any way we can. And because we've invested in you, our friends and neighbors, our bank is safe and sound and in business to stay. We're sincere in our care and concern for this community. Our employers, directors, and managers are people you know, people who are dedicated to making this a better place to live. Discover what a true community bank is at Warren Boynton State Bank, 3030 Spring Mill Drive in Springfield. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Warren Boynton, your bank.
They may have told you it can't be done. You may think there is no way to do it, but at Rex Battery, changing an iPhone battery is a piece of cake. It's true, many iPhone models have batteries that can be replaced. And if yours is still working fine except for the battery, don't get rid of it, replace it. We have the tools and the right battery to put extra life in an old iPhone. If your iPhone has a dreaded crack down the screen, we can fix that too. For decades, Rex Battery has been finding the right battery to get the job done. Big, small, and hard to get to. iPhone batteries can be replaced in many of the models so you can have more talk time, more selfie time, and more time to learn that TikTok dance. New batteries and broken screen repair now available at Rex Battery. From the tiniest hearing aids to the biggest farm equipment, nobody knows batteries better than Rex. Clear Lake, just west of Dirksen.
Rex with a double X battery. Generations of power.
Listen and watch the interviews with today's newsmakers on Facebook and YouTube. Like and subscribe now. Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY.
We got a few more minutes here if you want to chime in on the remote work situation. You back at it? 217-629-7970. That's the phone number. Some of the other headlines here. Federal judge rejects GOP lawsuit seeking to block mail-in ballots for post-election day. It was a lawsuit that was actually brought by Judicial Watch on behalf of Mike Bost and others, saying that they didn't want federal elections to be determined 2 weeks after Election Day. They want federal elections to be determined on Election Day. But a judge in district court in the Northern District denied that. We'll see if that gets appealed to the appellate courts. Meanwhile, you've got some other headlines here. Donald Trump accused of asking a staffer to delete camera footage in the Florida classified documents case. Trump hit with 3 more charges in that. House Republicans continue delving into the issue around Hunter Biden. Next week, we're actually going to hear from a Biden associate, Devin Archer, about that. We may touch on all the Trump stuff next hour. But also, you've got Meta producers turning over documents on Facebook censorship after I think they were getting ready to hold Mark Zuckerberg in contempt of Congress. So fascinating. All right, we got another hour left on this Friday. All right, so stay tuned. A lot to get to with Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY and Talk coming up on 8 o'clock.
From the Fly SPI studios, take the easy way out. WMAY FM, Taylorville, Springfield's News and Talk is 92.7 WMAY.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Justin Finch. There are now 3 new criminal charges against former President Trump in the classified documents case, a superseding indictment adding another defendant, Mar-a-Lago maintenance manager Carlos de Oliveira, along with the already indicted Walt Nauta, involving surveillance video. ABC's Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas has more.
According to the indictment, on June 27th at 9:48 a.m., de Oliveira walking into an IT office at Mar-a-Lago and meeting with a person described as Trump employee number 4. De Oliveira then allegedly says that their conversation should remain between the two of them. According to investigators, de Oliveira asked how many days the server retained footage. Trump employee number 4 says 45 days. Then, according to the special counsel, de Oliveira telling Trump employee number 4, the boss wants the server deleted.
The former president has denied wrongdoing. The White House said Thursday President Biden would not pardon his son Hunter after a plea agreement on federal tax and gun charges fell apart. The UN Climate Agency said that this month is on track to be the hottest in recorded history, with about 150 million people under heat alerts. The president said heat is a hazardous condition.
We should be protecting workers from hazardous conditions, and we will. And those states where they do not, I'm going to be calling them out.
Texas is facing criticism over a new law that critics say blocks governments from mandating water breaks for workers. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin in Brisbane, Australia, accused China of bullying in the Indo-Pacific region.
We've seen troubling PRC coercion from the East China Sea to the South China Sea to right here in the Southwest Pacific. And we'll continue to support our allies and partners as they defend themselves from bullying behavior.
This is ABC News.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/FREE. ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way.
All right, coming up, we'll tell you about an open house with a ton of activities over the span of a couple of days. We'll talk with some individuals from the Illinois Army Guard about the open house, which you're going to have a collection of different experts there, food trucks, demonstrations, kids events. This is going to be just an absolutely incredible event going on at the Abraham Lincoln Capitol Airport for the 75th anniversary ongoing celebration. So we'll get details on that coming up with Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk. Anytime you need to get a hold of me, you can do so. Just email bishoponair@gmail.com or find me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Just search Bishop on Air, and we can connect that way, all right? Stay tuned. Final hour this Friday of Springfield's Morning News.
News.
Weather.
92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story, last month's concert appearance of Betty, which was canceled because of poor air quality, has been rescheduled. The eclectic Washington, D.C. indie pop rock group will appear Wednesday, August 2nd, as part of the Levitt Amp Springfield concert series. More information can be found at WMAY.com. A Trump-appointed federal judge dismissed a lawsuit brought by U.S. Representative Mike Bost seeking to block the state from counting mail-in ballots cast on or before Election Day, but received by election authorities up to 2 weeks afterward. Observers note that the law was designed in part to meet federal voting requirements for military members serving overseas. The U.S. Department of Justice issued a statement of interest in support of the state of Illinois, in part citing protections for military members to have their votes counted. State Senator Steve McClure, a Republican from Springfield, announced he does not want any new certificates of authority for building carbon dioxide pipelines in Illinois for at least 2 years, or until the federal government revises safety standards for transporting carbon dioxide. McClure said the 2-year pause will give either state or federal authorities time to enact regulations. A bill to enact the delay is being co-sponsored by Senators Sally J. Turner, a Republican from Lincoln, and Rachel Ventura, a Democrat from Joliet. The Prismian Group announced new subsidies from the state of Illinois and plans to break ground on the group's expanded facility in downstate DuQuoin. The expansion will enable the company to increase cable manufacturing for the renewable energy and electric vehicle sectors. Prismian Group plans to invest $63.8 million and create 80 new high-paying jobs while retaining 225 jobs in southern Illinois. Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast is next on WMAY.
Here's one thing that psychologists and therapists believe to be a key step to achieving better mental health, and it doesn't cost a thing. Spending time outside. That's right, the natural light, the wind against your skin, the sounds and fragrances of the season all work in concert to help you feel better. Now, you can't treat clinical depression and addiction with just one step. Those are more serious problems, especially with drugs and alcohol. The team of nurses, counselors, physicians, and psychologists at Gateway Foundation understand that. They know what you're going through, and they can show you the way out. Your insurance covers treatment, and the Family Medical Leave protects your job. If your situation appears hopeless, make the confidential call to Gateway at 877-505-HOPE, 877-505-HOPE, and start feeling better today. Gateway Foundation. Addiction medicine, saving lives.
Here's what's happening right now at Green Certified West.
Not another goat dropping. Hey guys, another goat dropping.
A what?
The goats. They keep dropping the prices on all these quality pre-owned vehicles. I wasn't what I was expecting.
The goats are just doing what they do best, giving the Green Certified West customers their very best deals and amazing customer service.
These prices are too low. We have a business to run. Hey, you, goat, not another dropping on my lot.
Come see the Goat Squad at Green Certified West for your very best deal.
There's a right way and a wrong way to fight off mosquitoes. Karate chopping the air, in a public place, in front of your kids, and their friends, Mom, is the wrong way. Using Stem mosquito repellent is the right way. Stem effectively repels mosquitoes by harnessing active ingredients found in plants, like lemongrass and peppermint, making it safe for use as directed around people and pets. Stem, rooted in nature, optimized by science, and embarrassment-free.
Everywhere you are, everywhere you live, with TuneIn Radio, the WMAY app, or listen at home with your Amazon smart speaker. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's news and talk.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Sunny and hot today with a high near 99, low around 74 tonight. Tomorrow, some scattered morning showers, then sunny with a high near 90, low around 67. Sunday, sunny with a high near 89. Monday, sunny with a high near 88. And Tuesday, sunny with a high near 89 degrees. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Don't miss the Illinois Air National Guard 183rd Wing Open House in conjunction with the Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport, August 5th and 6th from 10 until 3. Come see the C-130 Hercules, the KC-135 Stratotanker, and the T-38 Talon aircraft. Take a tour of the base facilities and meet the members of the world's greatest Air Force who work right here in Springfield. A shuttle bus will take you from the airport onto the base. That's the weekend of August 5th and 6th. For more information, call 217-757-1712.
Every industry has specialists, like Alan here. He knows radiators.
Radiators. I love them. Don't even talk to me about brakes or fuel lines.
Just radiators.
Radiators.
Sally is a specialist in cakes.
I think pies are an abomination.
Really? Pies?
Yuck.
Then we have Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. You know what they're great at? Appliances. Nothing else. No TVs, no computer printers, no radiators.
Who's got a problem with radiators?
Nobody, Alan, but you can't get one at Dick Van Dyke Appliance World.
Too bad. They're missing out.
I'm Dennis Regan, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. All we do is appliances. And when that's all you do it better than anyone else. Our associates on our sales floors know more about them, our delivery people are better at installing them, and our technicians are better at fixing them. All right here in Central Illinois. Wow!
I can't believe you don't like pies, though.
What do I look like, some kind of a peasant?
No.
Cakes are really the best
Dick
thing.
Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
At Midwest Garage Door Company, we offer products that are designed for how you live and work. Looking for residential, commercial, or agricultural doors? Midwest Garage Door has you covered. We offer a wide array of garage doors and LiftMaster openers with professional installation from our trained technicians. LiftMaster openers are available with top-of-the-line accessories like built-in Wi-Fi, allowing you to open and close your door from your smartphone or computer wherever you are. Visit MidwestGarageDoor.com to learn more.
Some people would call him a loser. He ran for state office. He was beaten. He started a business. He failed. He ran for Congress. He lost. He was nominated for vice president. He lost again. But he knew only those who never tried are the real losers. And Abraham Lincoln was no loser. Persistence. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
The Landmark Auto Group is introducing their new #1 reason why you always do better at Landmark. Landmark for a lifetime. This incredible new reason to buy gives you an exceptional lifetime coverage on the vehicle you purchase at any Landmark store. This pro-certified lifetime warranty will be available on new and pre-owned vehicles. That's coverage for unlimited time, unlimited miles with no cost to you. Landmark for a lifetime. Just another reason why
You always do better.
Landmark Chrysler Jeep wants to thank you for a successful Midnight Madness sale. It's because of their great customer base and community that they can offer these amazing deals for 10 years. If you missed it, don't fret. Landmark Chrysler Jeep just got a ton of great local trade-ins and is extending the sale pricing and 4.5% financing for 78 months through July 31st. So hurry in for your last chance at Midnight Madness savings at Landmark Chrysler Jeep Prairie Crossing Drive.
You always do better.
Here's one thing that psychologists and therapists believe to be a key step to achieving better mental health: meditation. It starts with proper breathing. By breathing in slowly for 5 or 10 seconds and exhaling, counting the same way, for just a few minutes each day has been a big deal for many people as they reach a new level of relaxation. Now, that's just a start. If your feelings of depression and hopelessness are accentuated with drugs and alcohol, then you may need some professional help. The team of nurses, counselors, physicians, and psychiatrists at Gateway Foundation understand that. They know what you're going through, and they can show you the way out. Gateway also uses meditation as a key component of their successful treatment. Your insurance covers the cost, and the Family Medical Leave Act protects your job. If your situation appears hopeless, make the confidential call to Gateway at 877-505-HOPE and start feeling better today. Gateway Foundation. Addiction medicine, saving lives.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.
Next weekend, you're going to want to get the kids and the entire family together because there's an awesome event going on to highlight a true asset that we have here in our community, and that is the 183rd Wing of the Illinois Army Air National Guard. And to talk more about this, we've got Sergeant Katie Rivera live in studio to give us the scoop of what is going on next weekend. Sergeant, thanks for taking time with us this morning. So this is a big event. I mean, you're going to have a whole bunch of families out there. You're going to have food. What should people expect? Good morning.
Good morning. Super excited to be here. So we are actually hosting, just like you said, the 75th anniversary of our base along with the Abraham Lincoln Capitol Airport. This event is going to be going on August 5th and 6th. The hours are going to be from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock both days. What people can expect is a family-friendly, fun event for people of all ages. It's a great place for people to come and check out military and civilian aircraft. The Kidseum has lots of activities for children. The Boy Scouts are going to host a pancake dinner along with additional activities, food trucks, and additionally, we're so excited because this year we have a chance to allow civilians to come take a tour of our base.
You know, I'm looking at a flyer here, and it's just incredible, all the stuff that's going to be there for the entire family. Of course, food trucks, you got to feed the family, but you're going to have demonstrations of different types of equipment, a static helicopter, various different types of aircraft. This obviously is a big undertaking for the airports to highlight all of this equipment. Surely this is going to inspire some people to want to get into these fields, right?
Yes, we are extremely excited. So being at the 183rd Wing, a lot of people, A, don't realize that we have an Air National Guard base in Springfield, Illinois. And B, a lot of people think, if they have heard of the base, that we actually shut down when we lost our flying mission in 2008. So this is a great way for the community to come check us out, find out what we do on base and what we do here locally in Springfield that you may have never realized we do.
We're talking with Sergeant Katie Rivera with the 183rd. And next weekend, you've got a big event. Get the kids together, get the whole family together, plan on having lunch out there and seeing all of these various tools and demonstrations going on. Talk about what the Guard does now, the 183rd, out at the Abraham Lincoln Capitol Airport.
So being the Air National Guard as a whole, we have two big missions. We serve the entire country wearing the uniform, and then we also serve the state of Illinois, serving under the governor and the local community. Anytime there's a natural disaster or anything going on locally, we are there to support that mission. Additionally, on top of that, we have big missions across the base that we are focused on, such as our Air Operations Group, where we are constantly monitoring Central and South America, making plans, keeping an eye on those things. Our 217th Engineering Installation Squadron, responsible for communications across the world and here locally. Our Mission Support Group to help make sure our wing stays afloat. And our Maintenance Squadron, so that we are very excited that people are going to have a chance to go see the engines that go into aircraft across active Guard and Reserve bases.
Talk a bit about that. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's not something people just day to day have access to. They're going to be able to get that access coming up next weekend.
Exactly. So if you show up to the event at the Abraham Lincoln Capitol Airport, you actually get a chance to take a shuttle over behind the gate and then into our base, which, just like you said, people don't normally have the opportunity to just come on base, obviously. So it gives you a great chance to see what we do at the 183rd Wing.
So be sure to get the details they've got details at the Abraham Lincoln Capitol Airport's website, Fly SPI. Of course, this is going to be at the airport. They're celebrating 75 years. The Air National Guard has been around much longer than that. So appreciate you guys doing this. And again, you can find a flyer August 5th through the 6th. Breakfast is going to be there, and they've got tons of different types of demonstrations and groups out there. Again, Sergeant Katie Rivera with us, lay out all of what people need to know about next weekend so they can get it on the calendar and plan on being there not just for one day, but for both days.
Just like you said, August 5th and 6th, 10 to 3 o'clock, show up at the Abraham Lincoln Capitol Airport and then expect and plan to jump on a shuttle and come check out our base as well. Please do not forget to check that out because this is a super rare opportunity. The first time we've really opened up our base to display it to the community and have them check it out.
So you'll be able to kind of get behind the scenes look of what's going on with the 183rd, and it's all going on next weekend, August 5th and 6th. Phone number, you can get more information, 217-752-1712. Sergeant Katie Rivera, last thoughts?
Additionally, if you check out our 183rd Wing Facebook page, we have an event created along with all of the information about our base.
So make it happen, all right? Next weekend, a huge weekend with the Air National Guard at the Abraham Lincoln Capitol Airport. Sergeant Katie Rivera, thank you so much for taking time with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
It is Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. Got to take a break. We've got more coming up to finish out this hour on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. It's now 8:19. Let's take a look at Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast. a scorcher today. We're talking a high of 97 with a heat index of 111, and then a chance of showers overnight. It's going to cool things, well, not really cool things, but at least only a high of 90 tomorrow. And then for the weekend, sunny on Sunday, sunny on Monday, sunny on Tuesday with highs in the upper 80s. Right now, it's pretty warm, 85 degrees at 819 from Culver's West on Wabash.
It's time to apply at Culver's West on Wabash. We're hiring all positions, and did we mention free food? Only at Culver's West on Wabash.
Ask Sherwin-Williams during the Shades of Summer sale, July 28th through August 7th, and get 35% off paints and stains with prices starting at $28.92. That means 35% off our most popular color family, blue. Psychologists have found it to be soothing and relaxing, which makes it especially great for bedrooms and bathrooms. And of course, get 35% off all of our other colors. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting card enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or play. Stop, opt out.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to fill up.
No way. Gas around here is too expensive.
Billy, don't drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying gas?
Yes. I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Earn cash back every time you buy gas. Text CARD to 200-300 for an exclusive link to download the free Upside app and get an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. Cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just text CARD to 200-300 to download the free Upside app and get an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus. Text the word CARD to 200-300. Text CARD to 200-300.
At SimpliSafe, we've designed award-winning home security with advanced sensors, HD cameras, and now this, 24/7 lifeguard protection, only from SimpliSafe. Now, monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplisafe.com/radio. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Shop the largest selection of Amish and American-made furniture all in one location at Hendricks Home Furnishings. From living room upholstery and accent tables to bedroom, dining room, and home office furniture. Select your sizes, wood finishes, colors, leathers, and fabrics of your choice. At Hendricks, the options are endless for style and comfort that will last a lifetime. Come shop Amish and American-made furniture on sale now. Hendricks Home Furnishings in Verdon and online at hendricks.tv, where you can always talk to the owners.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop. Listen on demand at WMAY.com. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk.
All right, let's just do it. Open phones. If there is a radio consultant listening right now, deal with it. What do you want to talk about? It's completely up to you. 217-629-7970. That's the phone number here with Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop. Call in and sound off. We've covered tons this week. Even just today, I'm not going to lie, it's kind of exhausting from time to time to have to stack everything up on the program, get the guests all lined up, do the video thing, and I tell you what, when the weekends come around, I try to unplug as much as possible. So, let's get your calls, whatever you want to talk about. All right, Open Phone Friday, it's Freestyle Friday, it's, if a radio consultant's listening right now, he's probably penning a letter. Bishop, don't do Open Phones Friday because it shows that you don't have any content to talk about. I've got headlines I can go through, and we can talk about Trump and all the charges and stack it up. We can talk about the Bidens and the allegations of criminality. We could talk about Governor J.B. Pritzker. Who knows? All right, but I got full phone lines here. I'm going to get those queued up. All right, I've only got a bank of about 3, so let's get through them. Good morning. You're on 92.7 WMAY.
Morning, Greg. Hey, how much does the air show or whatever it is for the airfield cost?
That's a great question. I am sorry I didn't ask that question. Let's see here what the flyer says. All right, so it says open house August 5th through 6th. Weekend filled with fun activities for all ages. I don't see a price on here. But
they forgot to.
Well, you can call. Just call 217-757-1712. And you'll hear the commercials playing on that throughout. So I appreciate that. 217-629-7970 is the phone number. Good morning. You're on WMAY. What's up?
I just wanted to add to the conversation about the unemployment and the debacle that happened. This is one thing that I think about is that I did work for the Secretary of State. In 2015 to 2018, the machines or the computer programs that we worked on were older than Grandma, and it said they were from 1997. They couldn't handle the load, and I would love to blame it on the Democrats, but honestly, all the different governors, they're supposed to be protecting us and serving the people. And here we are in 2020, and we have computer programs from 1997. It shows that either side was not doing their job and caring for the people that they were elected to, look out for.
And too often you get this. You get this situation where you've got just outdated technology, and it happens a lot, too, with just the idea of like school districts. They don't plan ahead necessarily. You hear all the time, especially coming up to election times, this particular school district over here is looking to build a new gymnasium, and they need to ask the taxpayers for more money, so they're going to increase your property taxes. Or this school district over there needs to build a new garage for whatever, and they need to increase taxes to pay for. Why aren't they planning ahead with the budget they have to not just do regular maintenance, but also future construction projects, right? I mean, we have to live within our means. We can't just go to, our employer and say, give me a whole bunch more money. I need to buy a new jacuzzi. So, yeah, I think it's the same concept, right? State government agencies, we hear this all the time, year after year after year. They've got decades-old equipment. They've got decades-old junky programs that aren't operating properly, that take too long, that don't mesh up with new technology very well. And you got to think that there needs to be some foresight. There needs to be better planning and better use of resources. Appreciate the call. 217-629-7970 is the phone number. Good morning. You are on WMAY.
Yes, I was wondering what happened to the award-winning show that used to come on at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, Jim decided to find opportunities elsewhere, and he is now working at the Illinois Department of Public Health as a public information officer. So that change happened several weeks ago. But yeah, Jim Leach was a mainstay here in talk radio land and for Springfield. And boy, oh boy, would he get people riled up. There's no question about that. All right, Godspeed. 217-629-7970 is the phone number. Good morning. You are on WMAY.
Hey, if you got consultants telling you shouldn't do open phones, and you guys need to take a look at what consultants you're hired.
Well, listen, I mean, I've gotten a lot of great advice from consultants. I've gotten some other advice where I'm like, yeah, I get it. So listen, they do great work. The consultants do, they're contracted off and on. We get consultants here and there, different types of consultants and whatnot. But yeah, I've heard that, well, don't do open phones. It shows you didn't do any show prep. Dude, I do show prep. Trust me, I do show prep.
I know you do. Everyone knows you do, and that is totally wrong, and don't listen to those consultants. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you for the confidence. Appreciate that. So open phones. Hey, well, I guess you know what? I'll just take my show planner here, rip it up, and we'll do open phones. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
What's going on, Greg?
What's up?
Well, I sat on the school board for over 10 years, and the issue you run into with the budgeting and stuff like that, a lot of it is government mandates that eat up quite a bit of your budget. That's where you can plan ahead, and you can plan on, hey, we need this for technology, we need that. And then all of a sudden the new program comes out and, hey,
there
we
goes
have
your
to do
budget.
this. Exactly right. And that's something that you can't always plan for.
That's a great
it's like
point.
that. You have your budget, but then all of a sudden you have an emergency procedure that you have to have done. It's going to cost X amount of dollars. I mean, these are just things you can't see, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, I get that. No question. And that happens way too often. You've got local government units, not just school districts, local, municipalities that are just having to get an unfunded mandate after unfunded mandate stacked up on them, including, especially for local municipalities, the pension law, which a lot of people see as unfunded mandates, and that eats into the available resources, which means that you've got a crowding out effect of mandates and emergencies, like you said, eating into the ability to plan looking forward and to develop new strategies or new funding opportunities for construction projects and so on. It's not an easy job, right?
And realistically, the only entity that has unlimited amount of funds is the government. I mean, think about that.
Well, no. Hold on a second. How's the government funded, though?
Well, what I'm saying is they have the ability to say, well, we're going to go ahead and raise this or raise that tax or do this.
So really, the unlimited resource holder is you, the taxpayer.
Well, exactly, and we're not unlimited, but there's so much of us that they do things that regular bodies can't do.
Sure. Yep. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Appreciate the call. 217-629-7970. All right, I guess I'm going to go. I'm going to dismiss a previous consultant's suggestion that I don't do Open Phone Friday. So again, gonna just take my show planner here. Oh, that's a tough piece of paper. All right. Show planners in the trash. If you want to just call in and tell us what's going on in your world, thoughts about the latest headlines. We could talk aliens. We could talk Trump. We could talk Biden. We could talk about guns. We could talk about Pritzker. We could talk about food. Went to a restaurant last night. Good stuff, but boy, was I sweating. It was that new hot pot place. Good. Thumbs up. We can talk about anything. Did you see Barbie? Did you see Oppenheimer? You planning to go this weekend? Which one are you going to choose? What are your plans this weekend? Open phones means open phones. Your calls at 217-629-7970. All right, stay tuned. 8:31. Got to take a break for some headlines on WMAY.
92.7 WMAY.
Here are the three big things you need to know.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story. Governor J.B. Pritzker has signed a new law that will prohibit so-called crisis pregnancy centers from using misinformation, deceptive practices, or misrepresentation in order to interfere with access to abortion services or emergency contraception. The law allows the Illinois Attorney General to investigate complaints against centers using such tactics and strengthens the AG's office's power to prosecute incidences of consumer fraud in such cases. Last month's concert appearance of Betty, which was canceled because of poor air quality, has been rescheduled. The eclectic Washington, D.C. indie pop rock group will appear Wednesday, August 2nd, as part of the Levitt Amp Springfield concert series. More information can be found at WMAY.com. State Senator Steve McClure, a Republican from Springfield, announced he does not want any new certificates of authority for building carbon dioxide pipelines in Illinois for at least 2 years, or until the federal government revises safety standards for transporting carbon dioxide. McClure said the 2-year pause will give either state or federal authorities time to enact regulations. A bill to enact the delay is being co-sponsored by Senators Sally J. Turner, a Republican from Lincoln, and Rachel Ventura, a Democrat from Joliet. The Copper Coin Ballet Company will be performing rock ballet at the Muni with music by Downstate on August 19th for one show only. The show will feature hits from Aretha Franklin, Prince, Michael Jackson, Elton John, and many more. A special behind-the-scenes video showing the hard work and dedication of the performers can be found at WMAY.com. A Trump-appointed federal judge dismissed a lawsuit brought by U.S. Representative Mike Bost seeking to block the state from counting mail-in ballots cast on or before Election Day, but received by election authorities up to 2 weeks afterward. Observers note that the law was designed in part to meet federal voting requirements for military members serving overseas. The U.S. Department of Justice issued a statement of interest in support of the state of Illinois, in part citing protections for military members to have their votes counted. The Pritzker Group announced new subsidies from the state of Illinois and plans to break ground on the group's expanded facility in downstate DuQuoin. The expansion will enable the company to increase cable manufacturing for the renewable energy and electric vehicle sectors. Pritzker Group plans to invest $63.8 million and create 80 new high-paying jobs while retaining 225 jobs in southern Illinois. Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast is next on WMAY.
Here's what's happening right now at Green Certified West.
Not another goat dropping. Hey guys, another goat dropping.
A what?
The goats. They keep dropping the prices on all these quality pre-owned vehicles. Wasn't what I was expecting.
The goats are just doing what they do best, giving the Green Certified West customers their very best deals and amazing customer service.
These prices are too low. We have a business to run. Hey, you, goat, not another dropping on my lot.
Come see the Goat Squad at Green Certified West for your very best deal.
Here's one thing that psychologists and therapists believe to be a key step to achieving better mental health, and it doesn't cost a thing. Spending time outside. That's right, the natural light, the wind against your skin, the sounds and fragrances of the season all work in concert to help you feel better. Now, you can't treat clinical depression and addiction with just one step. Those are more serious problems, especially with drugs and alcohol. The team of nurses, counselors, physicians, and psychologists at Gateway Foundation understand that. They know what you're going through, and they can show you the way out. Your insurance covers treatment, and the Family Medical Leave protects your job. If your situation appears hopeless, make the confidential call to Gateway at 877-505-HOPE, 877-505-HOPE, and start feeling better today. Gateway Foundation. Addiction medicine, saving lives.
To protect his home and family from disaster, Steve used courage, wisdom, and his camera phone.
That should do it.
Way to go, Steve! By simply taking digital pictures of his family's important documents, Steve can always have them stored safely online, no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Listen and watch interviews with the biggest newsmakers. Subscribe to 92.7 WMAY on YouTube.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Sunny and hot today with a high near 99, low around 74 tonight. Tomorrow, some scattered morning showers, then sunny with a high near 90, low around 67. Sunday, sunny with a high near 89. Monday, sunny with a high near 88. And Tuesday, sunny with a high near 89 degrees. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
I'm Greg Bishop, and every week I break down the big issues from the Springfield City Council meeting with the Council Roundup. From debates about zoning to city growth and everything else city officials have to say, we serve it up with the Council Roundup, sponsored by Head West Substop. When you want a great sub, you've got to Head West. Wednesday mornings at 7 on Springfield's Morning News with 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. Catch past episodes on demand at WMAY.com.
Springfield Supportive Living. Are you young enough?
Lavina Roach. I was married for almost 65 years, and I have 4 kids, 5 grandkids, and 5 great-grandkids. I've been here for 5 months. It's so clean. Everybody's wonderful. It makes you feel more like home. And I don't think there's any place in town that's as nice as this one.
Springfield Supportive Living. Are you young enough?
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting card enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or play. Stop, opt out.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to fill up.
No way. Gas around here is too expensive.
Billy, don't drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cash back app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying gas?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Earn cash back every time you buy gas. Text CARD to 200-300 for an exclusive link to download the free Upside app and get an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. Cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just text CARD to 200-300 to download the free Upside app and get an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus. Text the word CARD to 200-300. Text CARD to 200-300.
It's a situation no one wants to be in. You're caught in an emergency, unable to move, and you need help. Don't give up. There's a superhero right in your pocket, your smartphone. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by NetSuite. Get control over your financials. Get no payments or interest for 6 months at netsuite.com/Kim. Your phone is equipped with not just cool, but downright crucial life-saving features. Now, let's tackle that emergency. Can't reach out and dial a number? No worries. Siri and Google Assistant are your personal aides ready for action. Just activate them with their wake words, followed by a request to call emergency services. Need to find the nearest hospital? Just ask, where's the nearest hospital, or find hospitals near me. In emergencies, every second counts. Your voice assistant can quickly share your location data too. Just say, share my location with, and your whereabouts will be sent instantly. Remember these critical commands and stay safe out there. And get Tech Smart every single day with my free newsletter. You can sign up now. GetKim.com. If your business generates millions or hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue, you should listen up, because how do lower costs, less work, and higher profits sound? Well, right now, NetSuite by Oracle has an offer that you just can't refuse. Listen up. Get no payments and no interest for 6 months on a full implementation of NetSuite. It's the world's #1 cloud ERP, so you can stop fighting with spreadsheets and trying to figure out what went where. With NetSuite, you can manage and automate all of your business processes in one place, so you can identify rising costs and easily see where to save money. Stay ahead of the competition this year. 93% of customers improve their visibility and control when they upgraded, so why wait? And if you've been sizing NetSuite up to make the switch, then you know that this deal is unprecedented. No interest and no payments. Take advantage of the special financing offer at netsuite.com/Kim. That's netsuite.com/Kim to get the visibility and get the control that you need to weather
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.
Well, it's Friday. 20 minutes left of the program. Less than that. And giving you the opportunity to just call in. I'm going to kick back a little bit here. And get your calls. 217-629-7970. Give me a call. Let me know your thoughts on really anything. I've got, of course, plenty that we've tackled all throughout the week. You've got the ongoing conversation about the state's gun and magazine ban. You've got the ongoing conversation about national politics. You've got the ongoing conversation about UFOs. So which is it? What's on your mind? 217-629-7970. Or if you want to talk restaurants, we could do that as well. People on the chat saying that consultants are a scam. Well, they're not. Listen, when consultants talk about don't do open phones, it shows laziness. I'm of the mind now where I put so much into this program. Where, for instance, we could talk Trump for hours. I don't really want to do that. Unless you want to. I mean, it's up to you. We talked about working remote. Are you back in the office, or are you still working remote? You can chime in on that. But listen, open phones, your calls on this Friday, 217-629-7970. Let's go ahead and head back to the phones. Good morning. You are on WMAY.
Yeah, Greg, going back to the early on in the show, Governor Pritzker took that question from that 10-year-old kid. And last year, I guess it was, your former coworker couldn't get enough mileage out of the statement from Congressman Mary Miller about Hitler and the youth. But that question by that kid just proves her point that you get the kids and you got the country, and that's what they're doing. They're brainwashing the kids on these firearm issues. Not getting the point that the Japanese in World War II just flat out stated they did not invade this country because the general population was armed and it'd be suicidal to do so.
Well, I think the actual quote, which I've also seen has been questioned whether the quote was from the Emperor of Japan or one of their generals or whatever, but the quote's more of along the lines of it's not smart to invade the United States because behind every blade of grass is an American with a gun that knows how to use it. That's more of along the lines of the quote, or at least the paraphrase of that quote. You're
right. That was my point exactly. They want to talk about taking the firearms away from the private citizens to save lives, but history proves it's going to cost lives by disarming the general population.
Well, and I appreciate the call. And for people who didn't see or hear that earlier this morning, we started the show right at 6 o'clock with a full hour worth of unpacking the nearly hour-long fireside chat, quote-unquote, that the governor had last night up in Chicago about gun violence prevention. But most of it was about gun control. He talked about the ban on semi-automatic weapons. He talked about the trajectory of the lawsuit. He talked about, things he wants to do. He even kind of mentioned something to the effect of tracking license plates using technology of people coming into the state who might be part of illegal firearms trafficking. Interesting that that's a focus of something that some may consider an infringement on their privacy, but we don't allow for other states to use license plate data for tracking people who might be bringing in underage minors to the state of Illinois to get an abortion. Either way, interesting to hear all of those different things the governor talked about, so you can actually check that out from earlier this morning. You still with me, or did I move on to another caller? I can't remember.
I got you.
Okay, right on. Anything else you want to chime in on? I got another call lining up.
Yeah, that consultant that told you not to have open lines, he doesn't want to hear from we the people. I suggest you fire him pretty quick.
All right, well, listen, consultants come and go. It was more, I don't think listen, trust me, I think this guy was obviously wanting to hear from the people. But we hear from the people all the time. I'll throw out a topic and we can talk about it. But he was more just saying, don't do it, it looks lazy. I'm not going to lie, I feel like being lazy right now. So you've got the airtime. Good morning, you're on WMAY.
Greg, there's a serious difference between putting a great show together Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and going on the last hour on Friday going, you know what, I want to hear from you guys to make sure I'm headed in the right direction.
I like it.
I applaud that.
Right on.
Maybe I'll do that. So if there are two topics for me that are interesting. One is when you were talking about gun control, I really wish that Congress, everybody in the world, would take the same attitude towards slavery and sex crimes and all the things that we have coming across the border right now, because that is one of the number one problems in the world today. I wish they'd take that attitude toward people instead of guns. That would be my first thing.
I think that's there's a big statement you put there that the evils of the world, like slavery, like child trafficking, are very real, and we don't hear enough about it. And at the southern border right now, we've got child trafficking that's happening. You've got human trafficking that's happening. Around the world, there are still populations enslaved. And it's obviously something that a lot more focus and attention needs to be on. There's no question.
And, the sad thing is it has nothing to do with the government not trying to focus it. I would encourage everybody in your audience to get on the FBI website, go to the media thing, and tell it to just go get the summary every day and just look down that list. Sex crimes, sex trafficking, sex crimes, pedophiles, on down that list. It's amazing. And my second topic is Dianne Feinstein. They have people sitting on the floor telling her how to vote.
Yeah, listen, it's not just Dianne Feinstein. It's Mitch McConnell. How old are they? They're approaching their 90s or something? Come on. You guys should have retired 30 years ago. We need fresh blood, and I've heard criticism this is just a symptom of the two-party system. People don't care who it is. They'll just push for the button for Democrat, or they'll just push the button for Republican, and that seems to get us to the point where we've got people who are sadly aging to a point where they're unrecognizable, and that's not what we should, be, I guess.
They're obviously incapable of doing their job.
Sure. No, yeah, it's pretty wild. I appreciate the call, 217-629-7970. Good morning. You are on WMAY.
Well, good morning, Greg. You know what thrills me today is that the Representative James Comer, as he's on the trail of the President Joe Biden's offshore bank accounts. Apparently, you remember when Joe was saying, when they was talking about the $17 million, he goes, well, where's the money? Well, apparently they're finding out where the money is because I guess the IRS whistleblowers are turning over documents that are related to foreign bank accounts that may confirm the suspicions that the Bidens are, they've been collecting some money on the side, at the expense of the American people.
Yeah, and obviously that's a story that's not going to go away anytime soon as you've got more evidence and more documentation that is coming out. And on Monday, we're actually going to have Devin Archer testify. That's going to be fascinating. I wonder if that's going to be more of an issue than, say, the UFO hearing. We'll see. I appreciate the call. Take another one before the break. Good morning. You are on WMAY.
Hey, we're going to have a birthday party at Saputo's for my wife Friday night. I need to know the availability of parking downtown.
I know there's a music festival that's downtown, so it might be somewhat limited as to where exactly you're going to be able to find a spot. But listen, you don't have to plug the meters. I haven't seen any announcements that they're continuing to have people plug the meters. But if you're going to dinner, I mean, that's past the business hours anyways.
Okay.
So, yeah, best of luck, I guess.
Well, that gives me a heads up, good and bad, I guess.
Yeah, and again, a music festival when it's downtown, you've seen them. They take up several blocks, and it's not just the stage and where people are hanging out. It's also the backstage stuff. So just be cognizant of that, all right? You might have to plan an extra 10 minutes or so before your reservation, and happy birthday to your wife.
I'll tell her that, Greg.
Right on. Appreciate it.
You have a good weekend.
You too. All right, it's Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. I am a full-service radio talk show host. And I will fully act like I know what I'm talking about, even if I don't. Wait, I thought I threw away my show planner. No, I didn't? Oh, I've still got... Okay. All right, stay tuned. We'll wrap this beast up next on WMAY. Now, 8:52, let's take a look at Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast. I didn't rip that up, as it's going to be a hot one today. It's going to feel like 111 degrees at times with a high of 98. Low down to only around 73. Saturday, we got a chance of some showers with a high of only 90. Look at that, a high of only 90? Come on. Sunday, looking at sunny skies, a high of 87. Monday, sunny with a high of 85. And Tuesday, 87 the high with mostly sunny skies. Where are we at right now? It is a comfortable 83 degrees. 8:52 now from Culver's West on Wabash.
Culver's West on Wabash is hiring for all shifts and all positions. Apply today in person.
Here's one thing that psychologists and therapists believe to be a key step to achieving better mental health: meditation. It starts with proper breathing. By breathing in slowly for 5 or 10 seconds and exhaling, counting the same way, for just a few minutes each day has been a big deal for many people as they reach a new level of relaxation. Now, that's just a start. If your feelings of depression and hopelessness are accentuated with drugs and alcohol, then you may need some professional help. The team of nurses, counselors, physicians, and psychiatrists at Gateway Foundation understand that. They know what you're going through, and they can show you the way out. Gateway also uses meditation as a key component of their successful treatment. Your insurance covers the cost, and the Family Medical Leave Act protects your job. If your situation appears hopeless, make the confidential call to Gateway at 877-505-HOPE and start feeling better today. Gateway Foundation. Addiction medicine, saving lives.
The Landmark Auto Group is introducing their new #1 reason why you always do better at Landmark. Landmark for a lifetime. This incredible new reason to buy gives you an exceptional lifetime coverage on the vehicle you purchase at any Landmark store. This Pro-certified lifetime warranty will be available on new and pre-owned vehicles. That's coverage for unlimited time, unlimited miles with no cost to you. Landmark for a lifetime. Just another reason why
You always do better.
Landmark Chrysler Jeep wants to thank you for a successful Midnight Madness sale. It's because of their great customer base and community that they can offer these amazing deals for 10 years. If you missed it, don't fret. Landmark Chrysler Jeep just got a ton of great local trade-ins and is extending the sale pricing at 4.5% financing for 78 months through July 31st. So hurry in for your last chance at Midnight Madness savings at Landmark Chrysler Jeep Prairie Crossing Drive.
You always do better.
Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort, designed for curious travelers. Viking offers all-inclusive voyages on all 7 continents, with no children and no casinos on board. Learn more at Viking.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Everyone knows the old saying, nothing lasts forever. Well, whoever said that obviously never bought a timeshare. Not only do your maintenance fees and assessment fees go on forever, they go up forever. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Over 10 years ago, I was a timeshare salesman. But once I saw the dark side of the business, I quit. I started helping folks get out of their timeshares. Since then, we've helped over 30,000 families by getting them out of bad timeshares. If your timeshare agreement goes on forever, if you were told timeshares are a great investment, or your maintenance fees will never go up, you have questions, we have the answers. Give us a call. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call Wesley now for your free information kit. 800-798-4545. That's 800-798-4545. 800-798-4545.
John, the price of groceries is enough to send somebody into a panic mode these days.
Yeah, especially when the refrigerator goes kaput.
Even more so. We got a call from a customer who had that problem with a freezer load of those expensive groceries.
And that'll keep you awake at night just thinking about it.
Right. So, because Dick Van Dyke stocks the 100 most used parts, we were able to send a factory-trained tech out to her place to fix the problem before she lost any of that food.
And he wasn't some subcontractor either.
Trained right here locally by the team of Dick Van Dyke.
You know, one way to fight inflation?
Yep.
Keep from having to buy expensive stuff twice.
This is Dennis Regan, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store, which means you have the comfort of knowing that if anything goes wrong, we'll make it right. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. We stand behind what we sell. We offer so much more. Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
There's a reason your parents and grandparents keep going to Hendricks Home Furnishings. Trending styles, endless design options, and easy to deal with. It's the way their customers describe Hendricks Home Furnishings, and with competitive prices to the box stores in Springfield. If you're shopping for furniture and you haven't been to Verdon, you're missing the biggest and best showroom in Central Illinois. Check it out on Google 360 or come see them. They'll even pay for your gas down to Verdon. Hendricks Home Furnishings. See store for details.
Dave Ramsey here. Smart Conference is coming up in Chicago, September 15th through 16th, and 92.7 WMAY is giving you a chance to win VIP tickets. Go to WMAY.com to enter.
92.7 WMAY. Take Springfield's morning news with Greg Bishop everywhere with the free WMAY mobile app. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's news and talk.
You going squirrel hunting? Something that apparently is opening up August 1st. Public squirrel hunting on a select land. It's not like, you can run down the street with a 22 and go hunt squirrel. No, there's 52 counties with a variety of different acres that are available for squirrel hunting. Have you guys ever had squirrel? First time I tried squirrel was, gosh, what was I, 12 years old or something? Went over to a friend's house. We went over there and hung out at the bus stop before school, and he had just shot a squirrel. He and his family went out squirrel hunting and had some squirrel, some scrambled eggs, some morel mushrooms. It was, quite frankly, an experience that I'll never forget. So there's that. Squirrel hunting. August 1st. All right. Have a great day, guys. That's all I got for you. It is Springfield's Morning News. We'll be back next week, 6 to 9, Monday through Friday. If you missed anything from throughout the week, I do encourage you to go and check out the YouTube page, Bishop On Air, interviews, caller segments, replays of important news events. So, again, go check out the YouTube channel, Bishop On Air. All right, you guys have yourselves a wonderful rest of the day. It's now coming up on 9 o'clock. Have a good weekend.
From the Fly